Hey, Isabella, did you see the picture I just sent you on your phone there?
Yeah, I see it.
And can you describe what it is for our listeners?
Okay, so we have 3 rows. All right, the top row are mugs of coffee with different amount of cream. I'm choosing cream and different. So, there's black and there's a lot of cream at the end. And then we have in the second row toast of how burnt it is. And then the third row is how raw a piece of steak is.
Okay, so it's coffee, toast, and steak. And it basically asks, each one of them are labeled A through F for the types of coffee, with A being black and F being just basically a cup of milk. 1 through 6 for the toast, with 1 being not toasted, 6 being burnt, and 1 through 6 for the steak, with 1 being rare and 6 being well done. So people were taking this picture and tweeting out what their combination of letter, number is. So I guess my first question for you, Isabella, is what would be your letter, number?
I would do C. Okay. C 3.
Okay, I think I'd be pretty similar. I'm either C or D. I'm probably 4. I like my toast a little toasty.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
For the meat. Well, I bring this up because Darren Ravel, somebody that we've mentioned before, not much.
Does he have a son?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. Yes. I'm trying to think if there was a reason we would have brought up his son. I think maybe he was teaching his son to gamble. That may have been a time that we've talked about him.
Okay.
He literally thinks he says it's the responsible thing to do is to teach his child how to gamble.
Okay.
Darren Ravel is a sports business reporter, is the right term, right, Brady? He reports on all the numbers
CBAs
and stuff around sports. Yes.
And aprons.
Sure, and he it's also how much did this autograph sell for? How much is this piece of memorabilia? And we used to have a segment on Garbage Time, my old TV show that won an Emmy, called Delete Your Account. And the bit would be we would go through the worst tweets in sports, but every week we would reveal that the person with the worst tweet in sports was always Darren Ravel, because he just tweets insane shit. So Darren Ravel tweeted out this photo, and he said, F 4-1.
What?
Now, a lot of people reacted the way you did. I saw a lot of people quote tweet Darren Ravel and say, F? That's milk. You're drinking milk, Darren. This is from Tristan Miller, at Tristan Miller _9. Of all the batshit crazy things you've said, this is the worst, okay? That's a lot of people were going, you want milk as your coffee? Darren Ravel replied to that. Do you think the top line is coffee with 3 laugh face emojis?
Yes.
What does he think it's tea?
And so we all and I go, even if it's tea, it's still a glass of milk. What could you possibly? And the guy goes, what is it then, Darren? Darren says it's sauce for an A5 Wagyu sandwich with Japanese milk toast.
What?
There's no less relatable human being on earth.
What goes on up here?
He sounds like a person that would answer SAT questions really well.
What? Or interpret it to be a lot more difficult than they were asking, and just take it. In this one tweet, he has revealed that he believes this question to be assemble your favorite A5 Wagyu sandwich on Japanese milk toast. How is that where your brain goes instead of, coffee, toast, and meat? They're asking how I like my meat, how I like my toast, and how I like my coffee. And instead you go, well, I like a different type of... So somebody else responded and said, Daryl choosing F for coffee is the most predictable thing I've seen today. And he replied to that quote tweet and said, I choose F for sesame aioli on my Japanese Wagyu milk toast sandwich. I don't drink coffee. I can't believe. I couldn't believe it.
Ooh.
I've never seen anything like that.
He was probably really fun to play pretend with as a kid.
Yeah. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about you, Darren. You were really fun to play pretend with as a kid. And I don't even fully buy that. You're lucky she doesn't know that much about you. Not a great cold open. Where else was I going to put that? Let's go ahead and start the podcast. Hello, and welcome to Casuals, the sports podcast that's in a really bad mood today, and you'll know why in just a second. The thing we're going to have to... It's a sports podcast for people that maybe don't necessarily consume a lot of sports media, but are interested in sports, and they want to keep their finger on the pulse of everything going on. Whether that's to better interact with people that you see in small talk situations, like, hey, did you see that game last night? Or if it's just to have an understanding of something that matters to a bunch of people, or if you want to get into sports. Casuals, we're the sports podcast for you. Casuals@KateandNolan@gmail.com is how you email us. 646-801-0043 is how you leave us a voicemail. And on IG and TikTok, we are at Casuals, the podcast. Now, usually our Tuesday episodes here are just news. Today, because of a scheduling thing with the guest, we're going to do the guest episode today, and we'll do our just newsy podcast later in the week when that drops on Thursday. So today, we have a fantastic guest coming in just a little bit. We've been teasing this for a little over a week now. Kait Maniscalco, she's from Baseball for Baddies. She's a big Yankee fan. I do not let that go for the entirety of this interview, but she kind of gets us reset on baseball now that the trade deadline has happened. So we talk about Jefry Yan on the Mets, and we use that as some sort of a conceit to discuss all of the trades that happened across baseball. We're going to get to all of that in a little bit, but first, we do have some news to discuss. Yay! So we're going to do that with our casualties, the production crew here at SiriusXM. We have Isabella, our sports newbie.
Hello.
Chris, our master editor.
What's up?
And Brady.
Now in the AI overview as Bubba Brady. So thank you for that.
What do you mean by that?
If you search like Casuals, the podcast, the cast is listed as Chris, Isabella, and Bubba Brady.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, follow-up question. What do you do in searching Casuals, the podcast? What were you looking for?
Who sent this to me? I swear I didn't pull this
We had an
myself.
email.
Pulled it to you. Okay,
an email. Yeah, an emailer sent it through to us and said,
I think
check
they were
out
looking up the
how
word casualties or something like that.
That might be what
Which
it
does
is. Yeah.
mean deaths. So a bit foreboding
anymore.
for the three of you, but not
In the
anymore.
house fire, there were 4 casualties, and they just said, "Oh, that's the name."
Yeah. Whoops. So it's that podcast. Getting started here, we got to talk WNBA up top because you can't just have a relaxing weekend away from sports. You come back and there's so much controversy around a league where people that are talking about it the most openly saying they don't even watch it. So in the interest of discussing the WNBA, I would like to start with a basketball story. Did you guys see Kayla McBride on a team, the Minnesota Lynx, that we've been talking about throughout this WNBA season that was already good and got better? They've got the spectacle, Olivia Miles, the rookie that we love. They've got Nafisa Collier, who just came back from injury and is obviously incredible, a star for that team that did not need more star power, but somehow gained it. And yet, even in the context of all of that, we've got another story coming out of the Lynx. 5-time All-Star Kayla McBride stole the show this past weekend on Sunday. She broke the WNBA single-game record by making 10 three-pointers on Sunday in the 103-90 victory over the Dallas Wings. She made 10 of 14 shots from behind the arc, finished with a career-high 43 points in that game. Crazy. On the Lynx, it's crazy. The previous record was 9 three-pointers in a game. It had been done 8 times before, including Marina Mabrey, who had done it twice this season during a 6-day span. But McBride's 43 points are the third most in Lynx franchise history. An incredible performance by Kayla McBride on an already incredible team that got even better in the draft. Just wanted to start with a cool basketball-based story. And then we'll just dip our toe in by getting into this Sophie Cunningham, DiJonai Carrington incident that also occurred over the weekend. DiJonai Carrington, who plays for the Chicago Sky, was ejected on Saturday after being called for a flagrant 2 foul on Sophie Cunningham of the Indiana Fever. Minutes later, Carrington posted on social media the words "white privilege" and tagged the Fever. So, Chris, you're the basketball guy. You know I hate discussing fouls and such, but it is better than what we're going to have to discuss in a few moments. So can you break down for us this foul and if you actually deem that it was the right call based on your basketball expertise?
Yeah, I think I've said on the show before that I do get confused sometimes about what certain fouls are, like whether by the letter of the law certain things are fouls and whether they're not. This one was pretty clearly a foul. And pretty clearly a flagrant 2 as well. They actually, she ran Sophie Cunningham down. She winded her arm back. She hit her in the back of the neck. They reviewed it. It was a flagrant 2. I think that's the right call. It makes sense. When you look at something and you see it in fast motion, you see the replay, general thoughts are, yes, that's a flagrant 2. That makes sense.
Is a flagrant 2 lower than a flagrant 1? Like worse? Or is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like because sometimes with degrees of stuff, you go, is 3rd degree worse?
Yeah, is like
or
flagrant
is
1 like the worst one? Like, does it go up or does it start at?
It's like first-degree murder is bad, but first-degree burns are fine.
Brady
It's
just chimed in
confusing.
to make it more confusing, I think, is the goal there. He was like, it's just like these two opposite. We should also mention DiJonai Carrington, if you've been paying attention to the W, which I know half of the people who perk up when they hear Sophie Cunningham's name, half, I'm being generous, don't care about the W. DiJonai Carrington is a hard fouling player. This is not the first time I've seen her commit a hard foul and get called. This is her style of play. This is not out of the ordinary for her. I guess you could make the argument this isn't like any more malicious than any of her other hard fouls. Does that track what I'm saying, Brady? That makes sense?
Yeah, she's got a track record for it. It's not like this came out of nowhere, which makes you think like, obviously the arguments come out that she's targeting Sophie Cunningham. This feels really coincidental that it just happened to be the lightning rod player in the WNBA because it is just her style of play. And it was just a fast break layup. She came in very hard, kind of going for the block, but also kind of, if I'm not going to get the block, I'm going to clothesline her and take her down.
Make her earn those points, yeah.
Yeah, it was a rough play. It was a hard foul. It deserved a flagrant 2, but it didn't seem uncharacteristic for the way she plays.
Right. And look, this is what is so frustrating about discussions of the W and in a larger way, women's sports in general, is that people are very strange when it comes to women playing tough with each other. So already the language around fouls in the W by non-fans are very like, they're attacking her. They're being so mean to her. Why are they being so violent to her? I saw this when I was watching people talk about women's UFC in the past where they'll go like, oh, I don't like watching women do that to each other. It's like, it is sports. You do play hard, and there's already a group of people who have a hard time watching women foul each other in a really physical way or play that style of play, right? So there's that element of it. There's then the element of DiJonai Carrington tweeting white privilege, it being DiJonai being a black player and Sophie Cunningham being a white player, and us knowing that the conversations around the W do such a good job with stuff like this, And then DiJonai tweeting out the white privilege of it all, of course, heightens that. And then, of course, there is the Sophie Cunningham having just become this lightning rod by taking a stance against transgender athletes in the W. Again, an issue that doesn't exist. There are none. None are trying to get in. This is not a current actual issue that all of this conversation is in reaction to. I feel like I just have to keep repeating that. Just keep seeing people go like, well, we got to talk about it because somebody's got to. It's like it was started by the conversation was started by the conversation, which is just one of a million reasons that I side eye this whole discussion. But the discussion, of course, did intensify this weekend when 2 former NBA players are now trying to enter the WNBA draft. Let's start with Enes Kanter, who would like us to call him Enes Freedom. I'd like to call him something else. I'll just call him Enes. Declared for the 2027 WNBA draft on Friday as a major escalation of the recent debates over trans women participating in women's sports. We actually got an email from Ryan who explains why this could actually be a good thing. Ryan writes in and says, I know a lot of people are mad about this, but I'm going to take a different route. I welcome Enes. If she wants to join the WNBA and thinks she's good enough to play, then let her declare. In fact, I hope she shows up on draft night. I hope she wears her best fit, and I hope she enjoys sitting there all night watching all the extremely talented women get drafted. See, Enes can declare for the draft, but that doesn't mean any team has to draft her. So please, let's all encourage Enes to come to the draft so she can see what real talent looks like and how classy and sophisticated women behave, because Enes is kind of acting like a messy bitch.
Damn.
I mean, show me the lie. Enes Kanter came out and said, now, Enes Kanter played for a bunch of different teams. He's always been politically, and I'm actually going to say he's because I don't think, we'll get to this with the second one in a sec, but I don't think he actually is identifying as transgender, correct?
Not yet.
So we'll just say they to be as clear, to be as inoffensive as possible to Enes Kanter and the gender identity that they choose, right? So they played in the NBA. They were last with I'm going to say Rockets. I think they got waived by the no? Was the Celtics?
Yeah.
That was the last time? Interesting.
I thought they went to the Rockets after the Celtics, but okay, so they did not.
Maybe didn't make it to a game with the Rockets
I think that's
last
what it
time.
is. I think they got waived. I think they got traded and waived. This, of course, is the newest chapter and escalation of non-WNBA fans being obsessed with the WNBA and what their policy is towards transgender athletes. I have talked about this at length. I'm not trying to become the podcast that only talks about this. I've been accused in comment sections of trying to, increase the... I'm just responding to what's being put out there because I feel like transgender fans of the WNBA, some of whom I know like firsthand experience exist, deserve to have somebody speak up for them. And if it's got to be me, then it's got to be me. But I just seeing this all take place over the weekend, one of the first weekends I was out of my phone. To come back to this was a real treat. A real treat to see these names go on all the outlets you would be expecting them to go on and announce that they're going to declare themselves eligible for the WNBA draft. By the way, in the current WNBA CBA, it says that you must be a woman to play in the WNBA. In a memo obtained by ESPN, WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert addressed the ongoing situation in detail while also revealing this will be discussed by a task force of team presidents and general managers next week. That's my other thing, is that I do believe there is nuance to this issue. I do believe it is something that all women's leagues need to discuss and figure out a stance on. I just call bullshit on that being the goal of this conversation, right? To me, this does not feel like an authentic, in good faith conversation about what the W or any women's league should do when it comes to a transgender athlete. This does not feel like people just asking questions, people just wanting to know how would they deal with this. It's people barging in to say they're protecting women's sports. Meanwhile, they're the ones engaging in the activity they're worried, quote unquote, that a transgender athlete would do, right? So a lot of these outlets have been like, a man could just say he's a woman and play in the WNBA and hurt a female player, and that's unfair to women. I would agree with you. I agree with you. It's you guys doing that. This is that. The only people that are pretending to be women so they can play in the WNBA are Enes Kanter, and then later in the week, Royce White joined Enes Kanter. I believe we have sound of this. This was on Friday in a Fox News digital exclusive. Interesting, you know? In a Fox News digital exclusive, former NBA player Royce White joined Kanter. Here is what Royce White had to say.
Earlier this week, I made the announcement. I'm transgender. I'm a woman. I identify as sometimes identifying as a woman for purposes of basketball, professional basketball. So I'll be declaring for the WNBA draft in 2027 as well.
I identify as sometimes identifying as a woman for purposes of basketball, professional basketball. So that's not how it works. It isn't that you can just be transgender for basketball and then go back to being just a regular cisgender man when you're not playing basketball. No one on this side has argued that's what should be allowed. It's you that are arguing that that is what the issue is, because that's easier for you to win than having the nuance to discuss that being transgender is not as simple as saying, I identify as a woman today, and then tomorrow not identifying as a woman. In fact, transgender participation in sports, I'll just read this from the Wikipedia. Transgender participation in sports has evolved alongside broader social and medical developments since the mid-20th century. Early policies often excluded transgender athletes or required them to compete according to their sex assigned at birth, reflecting the binary gender enforcement that historically defined sports participation. As gender-affirming medical treatments became more available, sports organizations introduced eligibility criteria such as hormone requirements and sex verification procedures to regulate participation in gendered categories. So what that's saying is this, believe it or not the first time a women's league has had to consider what to do with the transgender athlete. The fact that they think that this is, and that, they hadn't thought of this, so if I, a man, just say I'm a woman, I can play in the WNBA. That's not what it is, and it is the disconnect. This is the important disconnect. Because the argument that they keep screaming is, so you think men should play against girls, and no. That's why my issue has always been the erasure of transgender people, because I don't see a transgender woman as a man. That is a transgender woman. That is somebody who has had to deal with something that I do not understand on a molecular level, but that I empathize with and I have a lot of sympathy for, because I can't imagine, and anybody who says that they do think it would be easier to be transgender is not paying attention. I can't imagine this is an easy life to have to choose, which is why I believe it is not a choice. It is how somebody was born. And so when these athletes come out and go, oh, I identify as a transgender woman for purposes of basketball, that's not how this works. That's not ever really been how this works. And so the fact that you want us now to meet you halfway on that, not really going to happen. It's not going to happen for me. Because obviously, nobody would go through the process of gender-affirming care just to play in the WNBA because they would have an advantage. It's the argument that anti-trans activists have been pushing this entire time, is that why wouldn't a man then just go into the WNBA? And it's because gender-affirming care doesn't sound like a walk in the park. Isn't as simple as going, I identify this way. It is science. Science that I don't get paid enough to try to understand, but that I know somebody out there does, and those somebodies out there were always involved in the figuring out of how to make this work. And now they're not, and all these people that come in are just going like, they can't, man against woman. Let me give Royce a second, because he does go on to continue talking, and I'm sure he's put a lot of thought into this, and that he's deeply educated on the nuanced topic. Let's go ahead and hear some additional insight from Royce White on joining the WNBA.
I think the WNBA could come out and make a definitive statement about guys with a pair of balls playing in the women's association. But hey, that'd be probably too much like right. So.
That's not edited. That was the end of that sentence. I just want you to know that wasn't edited. That was the end of the sentence. That'd probably, but hey, that'd be probably too much like right. So is the end of that sentence. So, okay. Again, I guess it is safe to say maybe this person doesn't know what they're talking about, which then makes you go, well, why are they talking? What could be the ulterior motive? And luckily for us, we don't really have to look that hard. Let's play this last Royce White clip.
And I don't want to be discriminated against. No, I want fair treatment. I'm a black, I'm a young black, hopefully United States Senator.
Oh, interesting. Hopefully United States Senator. Yeah, it says here White, a former professional basketball player who later became an online conservative activist, is running for the Senate for a second time. I'm quoting an article here from Minnesota Public Radio. He was the GOP's Senate nominee in 2024, but he faces stiff party competition this time from, oh, look at that, former sports broadcaster Michelle Tafoya. Interesting. So Royce White is running he's hoping to become a senator. I'm not saying that's why he's getting involved in this conversation, but if you were confused, doesn't that seem like a pretty logical answer of why he would just decide that when it comes to basketball, he identifies as a woman? I would guess when it comes to politics, he identifies as a man. Doesn't say in here. I got that thing I was reading, by the way, that's from a Minnesota Public Radio article. If I just very quickly could read the headline from that article. This was from, I believe, April of this year. U.S. Senate candidate Royce White is under order to avoid ex-wife, their son, over threats. So, Republican U.S. Senate candidate Royce White is subject to a no-contact order after a Minnesota judge ruled there was credible evidence of threats of harm toward his ex-wife and one of two children they have together. In court filings, White is accused of making numerous threats and being both physically and verbally abusive toward his former partner and their teenage son. He refutes the allegations, says they're being excessively punitive. Hennepin County District Court Judge Kristen Martilla wrote that White's ex-wife, quote, is plainly in fear, end quote, of him, and, quote, appeared to the court to be utterly at a loss for how else to gain peace from him, end quote. So that's just a little bit on Royce White and where he's coming from. But I'm sure this all has nothing to do with the fact that he's running for Senate. This political hot button topic that they keep calling an 80-20 issue. I actually heard Clay Travis call it a 95-5 issue this weekend, just because he feels that way. Clay Travis, who I also bet you've noticed, said he's launching a politics sports vertical. Interesting. That might be why they keep bringing this up. The issue they feel is completely winnable. One of the only issues they feel is completely winnable. And again, I allege the only reason it's winnable is because they don't represent it properly. They're not presenting what the actual conversation should be about transgender participation in the W, of which, for the last time, there is none. But I'm happy for Royce White, and I hope he loses again. I found myself for a moment agreeing with Riley Gaines.
Oh.
You know,
right.
Riley Gaines famously tied for 5th with a transgender athlete and has turned that into her whole personality, which I find rather interesting because if that transgender athlete didn't compete, Riley Gaines still gets 5th. Nothing changes, but... Anyway, Riley Gaines went on Fox News, and she was making this point that, like, we should be talking about the basketball. I don't know. I think I pulled that clip. Let's take a listen to Riley Gaines emphasizing we should be talking about the basketball when it comes to the W.
It's quite sad that the WNBA is the joke that it is because it does have real star players. It does have star talent. Some of those being Caitlin Clark, some of those being Sophie Cunningham. But rather than...
That was the end? You were done listing them? Some of them being, and it was those two?
The Fever's point guard and the Fever's first player off the bench.
Off the bench? You know, it's a real shame because the W's got a lot of talent in the two white women that we love to lift up as... It's just like... So here's my thing with everybody, because I know you'll be there in my YouTube comments screaming at me, okay? It's so obvious why they're doing it. It's so, to me, obvious. And it completely ignores that there are transgender people, not even a lot of them. Last number I saw was like 1% of the U.S. population. But it doesn't matter to me how many, but the fact that there's 1% of transgender people in this population, and it has become this issue that they feel is urgent and pressing and deserves no nuance, drives me fucking mad. Because people are just eating it up and going like, how could you hate women so much? You want men and women's sport. Like, are you listening to anything anyone else is saying? That's not what anyone's saying. No one is saying, bring LeBron over here. Bring LeBron over to the W. No one is saying that. We're saying, as science evolves on gender, in a world where we learned that, like, I don't even really fully know what intersex means. I don't know. I could find out tomorrow that I am because I don't know. Gender is so much more complex than we ever knew or understood. Science has evolved to understand it better. People don't and then go man, woman, woman, man, and nothing else matters. It's like the conversation is being oversimplified in order to spread hate in a league that is made up of a lot of members of the LGBTQ plus community. And so I just feel like the people barging in and trying to fix women's sports are actually doing the opposite. It seems completely obvious to me. I'm sick of having to talk about this. It's like driving me nuts. And if I feel that way, then I cannot imagine how a transgender W fan who just wants to go and watch sports at a place that doesn't make them feel othered, that doesn't make them feel like freaks, that welcomes them in, and that they've given a lot of money to. Their money's green. If I'm a transgender fan, I've bought the jersey of my favorite team and I've gone to their games and bought tickets, and now I'm being told that, like, I'm not welcome there. It's a vulnerable community. Does that not matter to anybody? Does nobody go, hey, they're getting picked on in a lot of different ways right now. Maybe we can let up in this one way. Nobody ever goes, can we just chill maybe? Let them breathe for a second? I think I said everything. This is so stupid. This is so stupid, and it's so obvious to me what it is. Something that's less obvious to me what it is. Can we talk about the Patriot Games? Also stupid, but less obvious to me what it is are the Patriot Games. Chris, I hate to pass you the rock on this. But what the hell are the Patriots? We've talked about them before, right? This was when Donald Trump was like, I want to take the best male and female athlete from every high school across the country and have them compete in a big event called the Patriot Games.
Yes.
We discussed it pretty briefly. I don't know much more about it, but everything I've tried to learn, it seems like it's confusing. They've happened or they're currently happening?
They're currently happening. They began on Sunday. They finished today on Tuesday.
Okay, they finish on Tuesday. And then I think I saw that someone's airing a cut down of everything that happened on Thursday.
Correct.
Okay, so that's something we can look forward to watching, I guess. And it is basically a field day? Is it like track and field?
Fun.
Not quite track and field, no.
Unfortunately, no. What is it?
So you do have the 100-yard dash, which was the only event that the participants knew was going to be one of the events beforehand. A lot of these athletes didn't even know what they would be competing in, so they were just sort of training for everything in the hopes that what they were training for.
The athletes did not know what they were competing in.
They didn't know what they were competing in.
Going into it like Jeopardy.
Didn't enough of them go like, what if it's the Hunger Games? Like, I think I would go, I need more information before I say yes, it could be the Hunger Games.
One of my favorite quotes, there was a 16-year-old contestant from Florida who said, I'm not 100% sure what's going to be happening. I'm definitely training all around just to prepare.
And while that is always a good thing for your body to train all around to make sure you can, hitting all the muscle groups, certainly not the best way to train for an elite athletic competition, which was what this purported itself to be. All the best athletes in every high school across the country, right?
Yes.
Or every state.
But every state.
Every state.
And every tribal.
And Brady did a little hand motion there. Why? What do you mean not every state?
Every state except some of the states are being represented by kids who don't live in that state.
How so?
Chris, what is it?
So there's one of the kids who's competing for Puerto Rico is actually from Texas. New Jersey's ambassador goes to school
Puerto
in
Rican?
Texas. They all have some sort of connection to the state that they are competing for, because the girl who represents Massachusetts does not live in Massachusetts, but she goes for the Celtics and has some family members in Massachusetts.
I don't think you can just say I'm a Celtics fan, so I will be competing under Massachusetts. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't find a girl in Massachusetts that could play sports?
None that applied to be a part of
Wait, I kind of like that.
the event.
Wait, I kind of like that, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're not always from a state, and they didn't know what they were competing in.
Yes, and then we eventually found out that some of the events include tug-of-war, victory hoops, dodgeball, kickball, and Operation Endurance, which is a military-inspired boot camp obstacle course.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry.
A military-inspired boot camp obstacle course.
It's like the Ocho games or something.
Just to be clear, victory hoops is just pop-a-shot, right? I think it's just pop-a-shot basketball.
Hoops?
What is
Victory hoops.
Guys, I don't get it. Is victory hoops pop-a-shot? You're saying that as fact?
Pop-a-shot is in there, and I think they've rebranded it as they are definitely playing Pop-a-Shot competitively. Like, basically, we have a state-funded Dave & Buster's competition for 14 to 17-year-old kids.
Now I want to be the woman representing Massachusetts. And it shouldn't matter that I'm not in high school and that I live in New York. I could do this. I could win this, actually. Also, if it's individual athletes, right, theoretically, from states across this great nation, tug-of-war is just a one-on-one?
There are like team competitions.
Tug-of-war is usually a group of people.
Well, there's like team competitions, and they're scoring them based on points for what team you're on, but the teams aren't all equal.
And
there is so much confusion about everything going on in this.
The teams, because there's a $250,000 scholarship awarded to the winners, but the winners aren't teams. The winners are the individuals. So you have a male winner who gets $125,000 scholarship, and then a female winner who gets $125,000 scholarship. So it's
nice of them to make them even. Is that crazy to say? Thanks for paying them the same. Progress, I guess.
Sure.
Tiny wins. You got to take them where you can get them, or your head's gonna fucking explode. Tiny wins. Did we cover the weirdest things about him, or is there anything else? Because I can't see what there could possibly be. Where is this taking place?
Well, this was supposed to be part of the original Freedom 250 events in Washington, and then Washington, D.C. And then they shifted the event to Spire Academy in Geneva, Ohio. And they never really publicly explained the exact reasons for why they shifted them to Ohio and moved it to August. Because your birthday was a while ago.
Yeah.
You're still celebrating your birthday?
Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. What are we, a sorority?
Yeah.
What is Spire Academy, Brady?
Oh boy.
Why does it feel like one of those schools that isn't a real school?
Oh, like
why does it feel like private equity trying to get students to? What's Spire? Dare I ask what Spire Academy is in Geneva, Ohio?
Elite boarding school.
Don't love that.
Is Spire Academy a real school?
Question answer.
Yeah, Big Bishop Sycamore vibes here.
Yeah.
I don't love this.
We don't know, but we'll just add it to question marks of what this event that nobody asked for even is. So tune in either tonight or Thursday night to find out who won it. And congrats to them. Who knows? Look, it's the first year of the event. Maybe they'll get this all ironed out, figured out for next year. And if so, we will take it seriously. We'll take it as seriously as we took the steroid Olympics. So, okay, look forward to them figuring out what they want to be and letting us know.
They're absolutely merging the two for next year.
Oh, yeah. Get those high school kids out. How jacked up can we get these high school kids and send them out there?
And just so we can clarify, you can watch it on the ESPN app.
Oh, good.
If you have ESPN Plus.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. I also told you last week was the Hall of Fame game. The very first, it's just recognized widely as the beginning of football season. Yes, it's a preseason game. But it matters, okay? It matters because you start to hear the noises and the sound. I got activated in a restaurant in South Carolina this weekend. I heard like bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum, and I was like, "What's going on? What's going on? Is it happening?" So Thursday night was the Hall of Fame game, kicking off the pre-season for the NFL, as I said. But it is where they celebrate the inductees into the Football Hall of Fame this year. Adam Vinatieri was one of 5 NFL legends officially inducted in, including Drew Brees, Roger Craig, Larry Fitzgerald, and Luke Kuechly. That's your class of 2026. Adam Vinatieri played for the Patriots, Isabella. That's the necessary background that you need here. He was a kicker. Incredible. Just a crucial part of important Super Bowl winning teams for the Patriots. We have some quotes, I think, from his induction speech. Which one do we want to start with, Brady?
Let's start with joke number 1 from Adam Vinatieri.
Fantastic.
Pat McAfee's here in the crowd today. Great to see you, brother. The only person who enjoyed holding my balls more than my wife.
Woo!
Out of nowhere!
Whoa! Now, they both played for the Colts, and Pat McAfee, as the punter, was the place kick holder for Adam Vinatieri. That's the origin of the joke. I probably should have said that before the joke happened. Just as a reminder, now that we're saying his name, Pat McAfee's album, what's that called again? Diary of a Big Guy You Hate So Much? Diary of the Polarizing Figure?
Yeah, something like that.
Confessions of a Polarizing Figure?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah.
The Diary of a Polarizing Figure, yeah.
Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
Diary of a Polarizing
Great
Figure.
movie.
That drops this Friday, August 14th. So I need one person to buy it and then to send it around because I don't want the numbers to be up. I'm not promoting it, but it is out this Friday. Isabella and I have a listening party.
Yeah, we got a listening party
And
going.
I don't want to get myself in any trouble here. I will say it looked like Pat McAfee during that cutaway of Adam Vinatieri's speech. It sure looked like he was enjoying his time there. Right?
He was enjoying his time.
He sure looked like he was recreationally enjoying his time. But that's not the only joke that Adam Vinatieri made. Somebody punched this speech up. I'd like to know who. I'll try to get to the bottom of it. But Adam Vinatieri went on to make another joke in his Hall of Fame acceptance speech. Isabella, why don't you hit play on that one?
Unfortunately, Bill couldn't make it here today. There's a lot going on at UNC right now. He may be on a recruiting trip right now looking for the next Lawrence Taylor. I thought it was because training camp had already started. But in truth, it's because he's judging his girlfriend's cheerleading competition.
Okay.
That was so loaded.
Okay. Very funny. Delivery, I could use a little bit more of a...
You didn't like the fake laugh?
He's like, ha, lots going on at UNC. I deliver the news. Oh, wait, UNC follow-up. I didn't see this. What is this, Brady?
He says there's a lot going on at UNC right now. Their GM was placed on leave.
Highest paid state employee in
That's
North
Lombardi.
Carolina. That's Mike Lombardi.
Mike Lombardi, noted butt guy, was placed on leave for an HR violation. Then it follows up over the weekend. Steve Belichick, who, Steve, Bill's son, is working as their defensive coordinator, on indefinite medical leave with no details given.
And that's the thing I don't want to have to ask, because if you're going through something medically, it really isn't any of our business. But much like we said with the Kyle Shanahan thing, the secrecy and the weirdness surrounding it then makes me go, well, now I need the details. And there's so much weirdness around that UNC program, and obviously Belichick is Bill's son, that I go, okay, what is happening here? And we still have no details have come out about that, as no details have come out about Lombardi and what the HR violation maybe was. Yeah. And I don't live in a world where I feel confident we're ever going to get more information. Although, while I bring up Kyle Shanahan, did you see the more information that we got there, which was that his Tesla at the time of the accident was on autopilot?
Why are we changing the story again?
I just find a lot of it interesting. And what I find interesting is if the car's driving itself and yet somehow the police report still blamed the woman driving. Yeah. And then also, I didn't know we were just pushing a button and letting our cars drive ourselves. I know Waymos are out there. Because every time I see them, I curse them. I mutter curses under my breath at them. But I didn't know that everyday people can hit a button on their car and it will drive. Is that
Yeah, you got to be
everywhere?
in it.
Is that everywhere in the United States that's legal?
Oh, I don't know if it's everywhere. I know it's here. I know in Maryland, you can, you have the function unlocked. You've paid for the subscription in your Tesla. You can give it a location. You have to be in it and
subscribe to it.
Oh yeah. It's a paywalled feature. Oh, of course. You don't think that's yeah. They're going to get money out of you for it. Like, that feature is in the car, but you have to pay to unlock it. And yeah, it will drive you places. You have to be like in the driver's seat, and you still have to be like able to take over if needed. But
yeah, like I think there's some kind of test feature to it where it's like they want to see like where your hand movements or something along those lines to make sure it's safe.
Well, I'm going to say not safe. This one got in an accident going 20 miles an hour. So not safe. And yeah, Brady, good point. That story is changing again.
Yeah, it's if that's the first detail that comes out, it's like Kyle Shanahan got in an accident with his Tesla. It's a non-story if that's the first detail. It's a story now because that's the third time that this story has changed, that we have new information about it, about a crash that happened weeks, months ago. It's just fishy. It's not that it happened. It's the fact that we keep changing how it happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, all of it together is Adam Vinatieri just wanting to make jokes about a lot going on at UNC right now. And
I think it's funny.
Maybe you're out there looking for registered sex offender Lawrence Taylor. And, oh, well, Bill's out there at his girlfriend's cheerleading competition.
I don't mind. I saw a lot of people going like, why would you use your Hall of Fame speech to make jokes? I disagree with that. I just want that to be known. I think you can make jokes in your Hall of Fame. It's your speech. You can do whatever you want with it. And I think punching it up, some of these things go really long, no offense. And so I'd rather at least laugh along in them, Give me a little bit of humor. Employ a comedy writer, The Hall of Fame game itself, I didn't watch. I was on a plane for it. It happened, I believe it was happening at the same time as that baseball game I would have been watching if I wasn't refreshing my phone trying to watch that one on a box score. Brady, I assume you did. I heard it was a good game.
It was great. Haynes King against Carson Beck. Carson Beck, the rookie from for the Cardinals out of Miami. Haynes King, the rookie for the Panthers out of Georgia Tech. Now, neither of these guys are the starting quarterbacks because usually the starters don't start the first preseason game because the whole point is you want to see your backups play and kind of find out what you have if the rookies are any good. These guys just went blow for blow. and they were going up and down the field. They both look like functional NFL players. Haynes King is freaky fast. Like his whole thing at Georgia Tech was he would run the option for him. He would run quarterback keepers. It was like, are we sure he's an NFL level of thrower? He looked good enough, but man, is he exciting. He's like a 4.4 speed guy, and ran one in on the last play of the game to give the Panthers a 3-point win. It was awesome.
Football's
just
back.
Even if it's not the guys we're going to see in the regular season,
At
Haynes
least it
King
was
got to be a god for like a night.
Exactly. And at least it was all the same level. It wasn't like these are all the big starter, like as we get deeper into the preseason, Isabella, you'll see some games like the starters will start for the first drive or two, and then they'll come out of the game and it'll be the backup. So like, that was the perfect type of Hall of Fame game where you've got two new guys trying to show what they've got. Up against a bunch of other people hoping to prove themselves, being watched by people who are desperate for football to be back. Football fans love football, and they're ready to watch some football.
I've decided what I'm going to do with my team, by the way.
Oh.
How did we not? Hold on. Hold on. We have a meeting before the show. We prep a rundown. Nowhere has this come up.
It's not big.
Of course it's big.
It's really not. You guys are going to be disappointed. I'm not choosing a team. I've decided that until I've fully decided on choosing a team, I'm just going to go into each season having like 1 to 2 teams that I really like.
This ain't over.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like you've actually come to a decision.
Because, okay, you want to know why? Here's some context.
Yeah.
I'm feeling worried about choosing the Chicago Bears as my team because the reason why I actually like them is because of Caleb Williams. But one day he may not be on the team, and like I would look stupid if I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not a Chicago Bears fan
I don't think you
anymore.
would look stupid. I think in your time as a Bears fan, you would have learned other players on the team and grown to like them, so that if Caleb Williams were to no longer be a Bear, you'd go, that's okay. I've actually really become a fan of this team. Now, if you wait too long, you won't have time to do that. I do see your point that you don't want to go based off of one player.
Yeah.
I think there's more to Chicago than just one player. I think they're a good team to root for regardless. I think you're ruling out the color scheme as being a cool...
I know. No, the color scheme is definitely a factor. It's a very big factor.
Fits in really nicely into your wardrobe if we're just being honest. But I do want
Thursday, let's play Isabella's Super Bowl Shuffle and see if that is the final.
And you're thinking that would make her...
If that gets it over the goal line for the Bears. You know what? If you want to be a Bears fan, you have to see it. And I think either she needs to know, either I'm in or I'm out based on this, because that is essential.
Why do I
Bears
have to
lore.
be in? Why can't I just decide I like
the season's about to start? Because we want you to be able to be like representative of a fan base for a team. We want to be able to check in on your fandom, not just through fantasy.
Can I have an East Coast team and a West Coast team?
Yeah, 1 o'clock games and 4 o'clock games.
Yeah, I guess. Are we making her have to pick? Is one AFC and one NFC? Is that?
That's what it has to be. I feel like
think
rather than
so.
being on different coasts, it has to be on different conferences.
Okay. All right,
So
we'll
I
circle
think
back.
we'd have to, which I think would make her go Jets 49ers, which is fucking great. It's fucking crazy. But I
don't know. This Shanahan story is kind of messing with the 49ers look to me, but we'll circle back.
It's not closed.
Yeah,
I
it's
appreciate
not.
you trying to put a button on it. I reject your button, and we will continue to figure out what we're going to do. We've got a month left or whatever to figure out once football starts, what are we doing with Isabella?
Okay.
I think we'll get to the bottom of it, and I think we'll figure it out. Last thing before we go to a quick break, and then Kait Maniscalco on baseball. Big news in the Canadian community, big news in the hockey community, big news if you love a pop star. Jack Hughes and Tate McRae have confirmed that they are no longer dating.
Damn.
After several months of dating. Sources close to Jack Hughes say he broke off the relationship because he started seeing red flags.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, sources close to McRae have said it was she who pulled the plug. So that's fun. That's fun because this was a relationship that they took forever to confirm in the first place. Then he scored a big important goal and she claimed him. Then he kind of pissed off a lot of female hockey fans by disrespecting the U.S. women's hockey team along with his brother and his teammates. And she claimed him even harder, was strange. Kind of a strange move because she's Canada down, even though she appeared in that United States Olympics commercial. And now he's saying he saw red flags, and she's like, no, actually, I broke up with him. So I don't really feel like you two ever dated. Can I be honest? I don't
maybe
know.
it was just like a situationship.
I'm certainly not feeling love lost here. I just think that
They are
tried to...
accusing each other.
Yeah, it's a lot of j'accuse. No, j'accuse. No, j'accuse. Je m'accuse. I accuse me. What?
This was as high of a profile as hockey was going to get for athlete star
Alicia
relationships
Cuthbert
here.
was more high profile. Wasn't she dating somebody or something? For a while?
Was she as high profile as Tate McRae?
Is Tate McRae high profile? I would.
But like
also
Alicia
ask.
Cuthbert's peak was like 24 and Girl Next Door and
wasn't she in
a
Happy
bit part
Endings?
on
Was she in
Old
Happy
School.
Endings?
Yeah, she was Happy Endings. Yeah.
Okay, Happy Endings was very popular. I
feel like Tate McRae's-
feel like, yes, Tate McRae is very popular. I believe she was she a headliner at Lollapalooza? I saw her dip her body in gold, Isabella.
I
did you
saw
see
that and I was like, whoa, how did she not get her hair?
Why did she not get her hair was my question. If you're going to go for it and be avant-garde, you have to be not afraid to be not hot for a second. That's just
Yeah.
part of it. You just got to go, check this out. But instead, she's like, check
Exactly.
this out, and I'm still smoking hot. My hair looks great, and I look beautiful, but I'm
She
a
is
little
really
bit
pretty.
of gold. She's gorgeous. Same with Madison Beer, gorgeous. But I'm like, you gotta be not afraid to go, yo. You
know.
gotta. You don't have to go full Lady Gaga, but I would just like to see you go a little like this. That's crazy. Whoa, wacky.
It's like
for
when
the
people
sake
want
of
to
art.
become an actor and then the roles they always take, it's like they always just want to have the same look. And it's
Yeah.
like, you're going to look different at points.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Macklin Celebrini, single, according to the internet.
Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Throwing it out there.
And I think Tate McRae, from what I do understand of her, I know she is Canadian. I know that was a very funny bit, but she's featured hockey in her music videos before. She is a hockey fan. So it is possible she's looking for another hockey player. Now, I don't think I've ever heard a hockey player dating story where the crux of the story is how faithful that guy is. I'm not trying to paint them with a broad brush. I'm only speaking in my experience of reading stories about hockey players. Very rarely is it like, look how faithful to his wife this one is. But surely they're out there. And so best of luck to Tate McRae as she hits the dating pool. Maybe she'll choose you, Chris, through Macklin Celebrini, the Sharks. Maybe she'll be a Sharks
Thank you for clarifying.
fan. Yeah, I don't think she wants to date you, but I also don't think you're available. So
Correct.
whether she wants to or not, you are
Chris
your
is like,
wife
yeah,
down.
Chris is preemptively
Tate.
turning her down
Yeah.
right now.
Sorry, Tate.
Sorry,
I
Tate.
understand.
Chris is not interested.
I understand you like the accent.
Right.
I understand that you would love to watch some darts with me, but it just can't happen. I'm sorry.
Okay, now you're just making
Got
a
a
whole
beautiful
scenario.
Darts was on at the bar that I was at in South Carolina.
Was it
this
really?
weekend. It was Luke Littler playing darts, and we were there for the season 3
Wait,
premiere.
you guys are
of-
both in Carolinas
Yeah.
this whole weekend.
Oh, yeah, except you, Isabella. You weren't there.
Well, neither was Brady.
Well, Brady's kind of close.
Whatever.
Anyway, they were playing darts. Luke Littler. We were at the season 3 premiere of Tires, and Tires, of course, being the Shane Gillis's show. And somebody pointed out that they thought Luke Littler looked like Shane Gillis. And I said, maybe don't say that to Shane Gillis.
I say I would watch the shit out of that biopic.
Yeah, Shane playing Luke Littler as a. The only
That would
problem
be
is
good.
Luke is famous as a young man, and Shane's not getting any younger. That's just the truth.
Yeah, I
of it,
don't think
you know?
Shane can pass as an 18-year-old.
Yeah, I don't think. I have so
I'm not
many
sure Luke can
funny
pass
things I
as
could
an
say here. I won't
18-year-old.
say any of them. What?
So I'm not sure Luke can pass as an 18-year-old. He's a grown man.
True. He does look like a grown man. Friend of the show. We're calling acquaintance of the show. Luke Littler. He
Yes, acquaintance.
Technically, he was here.
Frenemy of the show.
Technically, did do the show, and it wasn't his fault that we weren't there. It was over Zoom, and that's not his fault. Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Kait Maniscalco is going to be joining us. We double-checked. She is not related to Sebastian, in case you were wondering, comedian Sebastian Maniscalco. Although I'm sure if you trace it far back enough, maybe they've got a distant relative together. She is a Yankees fan. She started Baseball for Baddies. She's everywhere. I've seen her everywhere across MLB this year, which is awesome and deserved. We love her. So we're taking a quick break. It's Casuals. When we come back, Kait Maniscalco, and we'll be talking baseball. Okay, joining us now, I'm very excited about this. It's Kait Maniscalco. You might know her from Baseball for Baddies, or on TikTok, she's Ask Kait. On Twitter, you Ask Kait too?
On Twitter, Ask Kait, yes.
But with 2 T's or no?
With 2 T's, yes, because it was taken.
That's just so everybody knows how to find you. We got to make sure they can find you. It's Kait Maniscalco! Thank you! I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm your biggest fan in the whole world.
Shut up, I'm your biggest fan.
Honored to even be in your presence right now.
Oh, she's Gen Z's like baseball whisperer, I feel.
Yes.
Is what we've called you.
Yes.
Give the people who may not know you a little bit of a rundown on Baseball for Baddies, how you got your start in baseball, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So I studied journalism in college, and my first job, I was working for the Yes Network behind the scenes for the Yankees. I was a graphics coordinator. I was in the control room, and I said, I really don't like it in here. I really don't like it in here. I need to be outside. I need to be talking to people. So I was either going to go to a really small market in the middle of nowhere and be a news reporter and work my way up. But this was when social media was like kind of on the rise, and I was seeing these influencers and TikTokers, go to all these events and getting put next to these crazy athletes. And I said, okay, maybe I should start trying this TikTok thing. So I started making content, and I was at a Yankee game with my best friend. She asked me what the numbers on the Jumbotron meant. And I said, this is your batting average, your slugging. She'd be like, wait, why are they switching sides? I don't understand why is this one hitting? She was asking me all these questions. So I said, I wonder if people would be interested in learning that. So I picked up a whiteboard. I wrote Baseball for Baddies on it. I was like, this is just basic how you can get into baseball. Very simple entryway. The video performed really well on TikTok, made it into a series, and then I started the Instagram Baseball for Baddies, which is more of, I would say, a female community of baseball fans, and just giving, honest opinions and takes from a female, a little bit younger perspective.
Yeah, which you do a fantastic job of.
Thank you.
It also made me wonder, last week we were talking a little bit about Ben McDonald from the Orioles. Did you happen to see this clip?
No.
Of that he went on one of the broadcasts of one of the games and said that in his life he has never used a shampoo. Yep. He has never used shampoo. He only uses a bar of soap on his body and on his hair.
Yes.
And just because, to let the people know the sense of what Baseball for Baddies, like a female audience, I feel like would have a lot of thoughts on this. Have you talked to a lot of players across sports about I know I've seen you do like skincare routine.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, it's funny you mentioned the hair because at the World Series last year, mind you, this is like media day at the World Series, and I'm pulling Tyler Glasnow. I go, the girls need to know your hair care routine.
We do.
We need to know. And he says, yeah, I just use like whatever lotion is at the hotel.
What is up with
for his
that?
curly
What
hair?
is up with
and everyone's
that?
going, lotion in your hair?
And curl lotion I get, but I doubt that's what he meant.
No, he meant like the lotion at the hotel, like in the shower.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Brandon Marsh at all about what's going on there?
I did. He said he waters his hair and his beard every inning,
right?
Just like you do the flowers, was his direct quote.
You do not water flowers every inning. I just want to be clear. You're not watering flowers every inning or they would die, they would drown. So a crazy thing to say, but I know people will be relieved to hear that because I know a lot of people think it's like grease. Yeah. And I'm like, there's no way.
It's not. He's watering it.
But I thought it was gel. But now we know it's literally just soaking wet every single inning.
Yes. And I thought it was sweat. Like maybe he's just like a sweatier person.
And some of it must be a little bit of sweat. It's hiding the fact. Maybe he's pretty sweaty, but he doesn't want us to know. So he just dunks his head every inning.
It's a combination.
Okay. And just for the baddies, would you give any advice to Ben McDonald about using bar soap in his hair?
I feel like there has to be like an off-brand that we can, maybe just the hotel shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, just try something nice. And you can even use a 2-in-1 is what I said. Men love a 2-in-1. They love the same thing to be used on all. It's just a bar of soap on your head. I don't even know how you do it.
Well, also I'm thinking about like the buildup, like
the flakiness of your scalp. You're going to get all dried out by bar soap?
Yeah.
Antibacterial soap on your head?
It can't be cleaning the scalp to the best of its ability.
It cannot be. I also wanted to say to you, this is kind of nothing. It's just me saying something to you. But I saw at the All-Star game, was it Sal Stewart that like...
yes, I love him.
We played that clip because we loved it so much. And he was like, baseball for, he called it not the right thing.
MLB for the girlies.
MLB for the girlies. And you having to go like, it's baseball for baddies, but
Spot
totally,
on.
we love it. We love the support. Have you had any other, maybe that we haven't seen on camera, moments like that where somebody says something and you go like, whoa.
So I will say, right before Sal, like as the players were walking out to go to their pods. Now, MLB Network was what I was reporting for, so I was able to go kind of earlier than everyone else and just hang out as the players come up to their pods. And Bryce Harper is on the phone and like looks at me and says, hold on one second. And then goes, hey, I just want to say I love your content.
Oh!
And I'm like, oh, Mr. Bryce, that's very kind of you. Thank you so
Bryce.
much. Because Because I feel like you are a harsh critic. So
Yes.
for you to say that, thank you very much.
And not just to say that, but to pause a phone call to get your attention, to let you know we actually love that.
Yeah,
you know
so-
what? Maybe raw milk is good and we should all drink it. I don't know. Maybe we should take our blood out of our body, spin it around, and put our blood back into our body. I don't know. I'm now rethinking these things because of Bryce Harper's opinion on you.
Yes.
It's that important to me. Another thing happening in baseball, before we dive into, I've been teasing since the trade deadline, that we were going to get you in here to talk about the trade deadline, and we will in just a second. Just before we get to that, the WPBL recently debuted.
Yes.
So we're talking about women's baseball. I know a lot of people were talking about the anthem. But we got a new story this week that Boston just announced that they were firing Keith Foulke, who was their manager, and now they're hiring Jamil Weeks to be their manager. And the way that they did it was kind of like they said it on Twitter, and all the people were like,
oh,
what happened? What do you mean? And I didn't know if you had seen that controversy or just in general had any thoughts on like the WPBL and how great it is that women's baseball is back.
it's amazing. I think even them throwing out the first pitch, like having that tie to the last time we had professional baseball was awesome. I would like to see a little bit more coverage, so I'm happy we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
I do want to make some content on that because I know MLB partnered with AUSL. It was great. We saw all of that success with them, but I mean, it's only their first year, so the sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
But I'm excited. I haven't watched a ton of clips because the production, it's very hard to find highlights, which is frustrating.
And it's all growing pains, and I know
Yes.
they'll get there, and I know with the support we'll back it and it'll be great. But I just like that it exists.
It's great. And
4 teams, 15 games, I think, is their full season.
Yes.
I think one of the reasons people were alleging that maybe Keith Foulke was fired was because it was right before the 3rd game, I think. And he was like, every team makes the postseason, so we're sort of just out here. And I think they were like, well, we can't be, even if it's true, we do have to sort of want to win every game. We can't be going, who cares? Every team makes the postseason. So, again, all growing pains.
Yes.
Things that we'll get through. But interesting. Just interesting to see. I like the way new leagues, when they start, and you see what sort of plan do they have, whether it's all in one city, or I know AUSL for a while did the barnstorming of moving around to different sites. And so I'm interested to see how this works. I was interested also that it's 7 innings. I would have thought that because it's baseball, that it would have gone 9.
Well, 7 innings, and I think that it's not a full baseball field. I think they moved the fences back in a tiny bit.
Yeah, but grass in the infield, not like a dirt infield,
Grass
not
in the
softball.
infield, they're throwing from 60 feet.
Yeah.
So that's all the same, which is kind of cool.
Very cool. And Monet Davis scored the first run for the entire league, which I was like,
this is amazing.
This is amazing. So shout out to the WPBL. Do you have a team yet? Are you showing any allegiance to I assume, New York Heights?
New York Heights, but pretty unbiased. I'm kind of following. I always like to follow with new leagues, the players.
Yeah,
I
agree.
love Kelsey Whitmore. I think she's fantastic. I've been following her for so long, so I kind of go with that.
Los Angeles Queens, New York Heights, San Francisco Firebells, and Boston Hunters for anybody still looking for a team. So we'll keep an eye on that. Very exciting. Very exciting stuff. Now, speaking of exciting, Jefry Yan, do you have thoughts on the Mets' new pitcher, Jefry Yan, who celebrates his strikeouts with a jump in the air, a drop down to the ground, and a lot of people are polarized on this topic?
Very polarized. I don't know. You know what it is? Baseball needs a little bit of whimsy. Yeah. It needs some whimsical nature. I love it. I don't particularly mind it. But if you go on Twitter, people are very upset about this.
Yeah, if you go on Twitter or if you go on Sports Talk Radio, people are very upset about him. Now, to be clear, that's the best way I can describe it. It looks like he's jumping up to hit the splits, but he does not hit a split on the ground. He just sort of crouches. So it's like a celebratory jump into a crouch. And it's just joy. He's experiencing joy. He did this in the minor leagues. He did this in I believe, a spring training game that we saw him play for the Mets. And now he's here. He's been called up. He's a reliever. And he did it in a game. I think that his first game was in Atlanta, maybe?
Either Atlanta or Cleveland. It was
Cleveland. It was Cleveland. You're absolutely right. It was Cleveland, and they booed him. They booed him when he did it.
Yeah.
Now, for casual fans, can you kind of help give context to this idea of unwritten rules in baseball?
Yeah, it's kind of you got to act like you've been there before, almost. And a lot of the controversy on Twitter was a veteran should have come up to him and said, hey, knock that off. We're not pulling this here in the big leagues. I'm if we're doing crazy outfield celebrations I don't know if you remember the Giants this year.
Oh, you mean the humper around the world?
If we're, the Dodgers get a little fairy-like. I love them. I love when they do fun things.
Right.
So I don't particularly find a problem with it, but I think the old school baseball, they're not a big
They
fan.
hate it. They hate it.
You're like,
they
no, tell them what it is.
Loudly
They hate
it. They don't, because it's not just people going like, I think that's stupid. People hate it so much that I'm like, well, then I'll love it.
Yes.
Even if I just liked it, now I have to love it because of how much people hate it. It's not like he's doing it in the at-bat.
No.
It's when it's over. It's celebrating that it's over. And I think it's fun. So Isabella, our producer, is a Mets fan. She's gone to like
Good
6 Mets games. I know. It's tough. It was a tough choice, but Kate, and we'll get into this, she wasn't going to choose the Yankees, okay? It wasn't going to happen. Not on my fucking podcast, okay? So she's a Mets fan, and she's like genuinely putting in the work. She's like watching the games, going to the games, like understanding the game more, learning, having favorites, gravitating towards players, all of that. Believing in them in spite of all evidence to the contrary. I
still do. I still do.
She's like, we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to go on a run.
We are.
And she's dead serious. And I also, what am I going to do? Tell her no? I'm like, no. Plus, while the Red Sox are going on this weird, I'm like, look, Isabella, anything can happen.
That's the beauty of baseball.
But I showed her this guy, showed her Jefry Yan the other day, and she was like, my new favorite player. Immediately, my new favorite player. Yes. And it's like the Mets of all teams. You really can't complain what gets people tuning in, okay?
Yes.
You need people to tune in. And if this brings eyeballs to your team, who sucks, then isn't it ultimately good? Do you think people will come around to that idea, or do you think they're going to bully this out of him?
I think he's just going to stop doing it, which makes me sad.
That makes me sad too.
And I agree to your point. It is funny, the irony. Like, it's always the Mets that has like something going on, right? Like, oh, the team is awful, but we have this guy that's performing fake splits on the mound. My thing is also like, if we can have batters pimping home runs and chucking bats into the air, I see no problem with a pitcher doing what he wants on the mound.
Of course, the purists will say you shouldn't do either.
Of course.
But it's at some point, it's kind of boring. At some point, you're like, let somebody go like,
some spice.
Like, then once we calm down a little about him, I would be willing to entertain that maybe he shouldn't do it all the time because it would just get old. It would just get annoying and old. But I don't know. I just feel like the amount of anger I saw about it, I was like, come on, you guys. A little whimsy. Would it kill us?
It would no.
Would it kill us to be a little silly goofy? You know, to have a little fun? So we figured for this trade deadline wrap up, we would sort of frame it all entirely around Jefry Yan. Why not? So we're going to say, I will read you a trade, and you'll say if it's a yawn, like it's exciting, something really exciting that helped the team out,
okay,
and maybe could change the playoff races in a major way. Not necessarily that Jefry Yan is that, or a yawn, like
got it. Yawn or yawn.
Boring, nothing really happens, and this changes nothing for the team in the grand scheme of things.
I love
it.
Perfect.
Isn't it? Did I force the square peg into the round hole?
I think this is perfect, and I'm excited.
We'll start with the big one, obviously.
Yes.
Starting pitcher Tarik Skubal, traded from the Tigers to the Dodgers for 3 of the Dodgers prospects. Do you consider this to be a yawn, very exciting, or a yawn, you're tired and nothing good comes of this?
Yan, very exciting.
Yeah.
The thing about Skubal, I feel for him that he became the most hated player in baseball seemingly overnight when he didn't do anything.
I know.
And there are people on Twitter going, you know what I think happened? I think the Tigers went up to Skubal and said, where do you want to get traded? I go, wait, that's not how that works.
Never how that works.
That's not how that works.
Interesting fan fiction, but not going to work out in terms of facts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, but I think it's exciting. I like the villain era. I like the villain nature of the Dodgers. Like, now anyone who beats them, everyone's going to be rallying around whatever team the Dodgers face in the postseason. So I think it's very exciting.
Not that they've been doing well since the trade.
No, they went on like a 7-game losing streak.
So like, oh God, she did it.
I know.
Oh God, she did it. She said 6-7, and now legally we're all doing this because we have to. I guess my question on the Tarik Skubal thing is why did the Brewers or the Cubs not make a better deal for him?
Well, do you know the conspiracy theory?
Let's hear it, Kate.
The conspiracy theory is that this is a big ploy from the owners to force the Dodgers to win their third World Series.
So
and then they say, look, it's ruining baseball. We have to implement a cap. But I also think that they just liked the Dodgers package the best.
That's it. You're so conspiracy theory, you recognize it, you understand where it comes from.
Yes.
Because we're all terrified there's going to be no baseball next year.
Yes.
But ultimately, you think it just comes down to pure trade stuff.
Yeah, and I think the Brewers just the Brewers aren't known for making that type of big trade.
Very true.
Like aside from CC Sabathia, they haven't done that ever to trade for like a big pitcher.
Mm-mm.
So
would have been a cool time to start, I think. If they wanted to.
Him and Miz would have been great.
Oh my God. We're going to get to him. We're going to get to him. Yeah. All right, so that one's exciting. What about catcher Adley Rutschman traded from the Orioles to the Red Sox?
Okay, bias aside, I'm going to say Yan.
That's meaning like Yan exciting?
Yan
That's
exciting.
a dumb idea because now I need you to say Yan exciting or Yang tired because they sound exactly the same.
No, Yan exciting. Okay, so I was very jealous because I thought the Yankees were going to get Adley. I was very, very confident the Yankees were going to get Adley. But I will say, to Greg Breslow's credit, did he overpay? I think it was a slight overpay. But in a wide open American League, you just have to go for it.
True.
This year, there's no one running away with the league. There's absolutely like no big front runner. So you haven't had a star catcher in quite some time. Offensive upgrade. I think he's coming back this week. They said as early as possibly Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. And a change of scenery for Adley, I think, is good too.
Yeah, and I like his vibes. He seems to bring good, funny vibes to the clubhouse, which I like.
I think he'd fit in well.
Boston loves a goofy guy, and he seems to be a little goofy and silly. I will say, do you feel like between this and then the Marcelo Meyer trade, they traded him to the Giants?
Yes.
Were you surprised the Red Sox were this aggressive, or you feel like this is a full send, we got to go for it?
No, I was surprised.
Yeah.
And I think even the timing, like they're convinced this isn't even just a lucky hot streak. They're like, oh no, this team can contend, so we're going to go all in.
Yeah.
And they also they don't have Roman back, they don't have Garrett Crochet back, so it's looking good for the Red Sox.
I know.
I hate to say.
I love to say. I love making you say.
You're like, no, say that. Why don't you say that again?
No, let's just run that back and loop it for the rest of this podcast, I think, so that we can get Kait on the record saying the Red Sox are what's up. Okay, next one. Outfielder Taylor Ward traded from the Orioles to the Mariners. I'm mostly including this one because we just did Adley Rutschman going from the... How would you... Yawn or yawn, first of all, and then advice for Orioles fans. Anything you would say to Orioles fans on how to proceed?
Yawn. It's not very exciting. I feel bad for the Mariners. Like, I feel bad for Cal. I thought the team was going to be much better. I thought they would sell at the deadline, too. I was kind of surprised they even made a weird deal. A weird trade. Orioles fans, so I call, in Baseball for Baddies, we call them the Orioles Baddies. Down bad. The edits on, they're really sad.
Yeah. They're just doing like black and white highlights of like guys who used to be on their team.
There's that song by Katy Perry, Thinking of You, and it's like they're doing him on the Red Sox, and it's like, oh, but we're thinking of you. It's really depressing. And Adley, as you said, was a fan favorite.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of great things to say to Orioles baddies aside from like Pete's there. I like Pete. I'm a Pete Alonso fan.
I think you're just reminding me of the hope they had coming into the season. Yes. And like really up until like a month before the deadline, still like not really looking like they were going to have to call it on the whole season. And now here we are going like, well, so that's done.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see
what these new prospects that they got from the Red Sox.
Yeah, they got quite a bit. So we'll see what happens. I feel really bad for them. Also, our producer Brady, who's listening to this, is an Orioles fan.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
He's an Orioles baddie, so I'm feeling pretty bad for him as well. All right, next one. Infielder Luis Arraez traded from the Giants to the Phillies.
Jan, I love this.
Yes, very exciting.
I love Luis Arraez.
Me too.
Love him. I don't think he gets enough credit. If you're consistently hitting well over 300, you should get more credit.
I agree. Nobody cares about batting average anymore, Kait.
I care.
I care.
I just want to say
care.
We still care.
We care. Interesting because the Phillies had to move they had like shift everybody around their infield and outfield. Bryce Harper moved to the outfield.
Yep.
What else? Bryson Stott moved from second to third. Alec Boehm went from third to first so that Arraez could play second.
Which is kind of interesting because Arraez is having a better year defensively than he ever has had. But the Phillies defense has been among the worst in baseball.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting move. Like, okay, just to get him over here, we're going to rearrange.
We'll
move everyone.
I kind of like it. I kind of like them going like, if you were good enough, we'd be doing well enough. So You don't get to keep your position. I don't know. I like that the team was willing to go, we'll all move.
Yes.
So that we can add him. Because Bryce famously said right before the trade deadline, we need help. And they went and got it.
So
exciting stuff. Bummer for my fiance, who is a Giants fan, and Luis Arraez was his favorite player, so he was pretty bummed to see him traded.
Yeah, Giants lost a lot at the deadline.
They sure did. The Giants have lost a lot this season, so they're really not having a good. It hasn't been a good. And then also, at least they're also dropping the ball PR-wise on like,
oh my god,
that whole thing. I know.
It's like they can't say what. I'm like, fire the entire
what
PR staff.
What are we doing?
Fire the entire
Get together and come up with a plan. What is this?
Every time I'm like, oh, and another thing was said. Oh, okay.
Oh, and here they go. Oh, and now they've shut that down. Oh, they took away that fan sign, and you're like, stop. God damn. Okay, starting pitcher Kevin Gausman traded from the Blue Jays to the Cubs. Is that a yawn or a yawn?
Yawn. I'm excited for Cubbies. Okay. We're really trying to nail this. Yawn.
Yawn. Exciting.
I'm excited for Cubbies. They went all out too. They got a bunch of starting pitching. Goss is definitely on the older side. Like, you're not trading for some prime Kevin Gausman, but he did well last year. He has postseason experience. I like that. I like that move. And the Blue Jays were going to trade him anyway.
Right. Age ain't nothing but a number.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
I know in sports it's a pretty important number and it dictates a lot.
Yes.
But he's still got it.
He's 100%.
He's still got it.
I just wanted to say, every single time it's a yawn, like Jeffrey, I think Kate should just do a split right on the set.
I agree.
And I agree, but are you, and I assume you meant Kate, the guest, not Kate, the host.
Oh, no, sweetie, no.
So you want me to do the split.
Oh, no, I want Kate, the guest,
That's
to do
right.
it.
That's exactly right. Do you still agree?
You know what? I was kicked out of gymnastics at when I was 7 years old.
They were like, no.
They said she's not agile enough.
Sick.
And so they said, get her out of here.
Get her out of here is crazy. Did you say, excuse me, I'm 7. I need to flip.
Let me walk the balance beam one more time.
Please let me walk the balance beam and jump into the foam pit. How could you possibly kick me out of here? This is summer camp. That's crazy. Kicking girls out at 7. They were maybe taking it a little too seriously.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
We'll just we'll do the jump part. If it's yawn exciting, I want to see,
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Yawn.
And if it's yawn not exciting, we'll pretend to be asleep.
Perfect.
Good. I'm glad we figured that out while we're at the end of it, mostly. We got 3 left. Let's do this one. Pitchers Dustin May and JoJo Romero were traded from the Cardinals to the Brewers.
Yawn.
Yawn. Sleepy yawn.
I think the Brewers could have done more.
Much more.
I don't know they have the second best run differential in baseball. Like, what are we doing? And they never do anything. And it makes me really angry and frustrated. Like, they just rely on black magic every year. It's like they get these random hitters that just start, like their 8-9 hitters start hitting like 300 randomly, and they have elite pitching, and then they don't do anything. They don't get any help.
Yeah.
And you're not going to sign anyone to free agency, so trade for someone. You have one of the best farm systems in baseball. Like, oh my gosh, drives me nuts.
That's crazy.
It drives me nuts.
Also, and I was a Dustin, I guess maybe am still a Dustin May believer.
Dustin May is doing great this year.
Yeah, and what's crazy is what derailed his career was a piece of lettuce. I think about it all the time. All the time.
I know.
At a time, especially when lettuce is still precarious because of whatever that cyclospora, we're avoiding lettuce anyway.
No lettuce.
Just as a reminder to anyone who doesn't know, Dustin May swallowed a piece of lettuce that scraped down the inside of his esophagus and split the guy open, and he had to go have emergency surgery. He's okay. We're glad to hear he's okay.
Yes.
But it's just I want him to have such a good season that people forget
about this.
That part.
Yeah, people forget too, how long he's been.
Yeah.
Obviously he's still young, but the Dodgers, the Red Sox, he came back from Tommy John surgery.
Right.
I feel bad for the guy. I just want him to have a good year.
I know, because he's got good stuff.
Yes.
Okay, and then starting pitcher Freddie Peralta traded from the Mets to the Rays. Yawn or a yawn?
Oh,
she's doing half and half.
Half.
Half yawn, half yawn.
I mean,
it's a yin yawn.
I'm I like it. I actually like what the Mets did with all things considered. Sell the entire team. Get rid of you don't need these guys anymore. The Rays are one of those. I want to be a Rays believer, but I'm not. I can't drink the Kool-Aid.
Why?
I don't think they're actually going to make it very far in the postseason. I want to say maybe it's partly you're no, tell us about your Yankees.
No, please. No, please.
I think their pitching is good. they have good hit. They're like a scrappy team.
Yeah.
But they're not like blowing anyone out of the water.
Right.
I think the Rays should have traded for Skubal too. So I think they should have done more. That's why I'm
Thank
like half and
God
half. Like,
they didn't. Holy shit. Why would you say something like that? Thank God they didn't. I would be so pissed.
The East would have been an AL East would have been a nightmare.
Do you think the Mets can be good next year?
No. I'm sorry, Isabella.
What do you do when you pay that much money for your roster and it does this? What do you do?
I think they just should just start trading everyone in the offseason, except for Soto and Lindor. Soto and Lindor can stay.
Yeah.
But Bo, I think, what is Bo's contract? I think he can walk this year. Like they have to renegotiate it. Or if he's on a 3-year, it's something weird.
I don't know. They're so complicated to keep track of, honestly.
They're very complicated. But have you seen the memes of like, wow, the only player that didn't take the money to go to the Dodgers is Juan Soto? It's like, yeah, no, he just got paid like $1 gazillion to go to the Mets.
It's not like he really took like a cut of any type.
He didn't take a pay cut to go to the Mets.
I also thought it was interesting. I saw that story. Did you see they were saying Freddie Peralta like sat down Soto and Lindor before he left and like made them be friends, and then you got rid of him? It's just like that's a weird, it's just a weird timed story. Once he's gone, they were like, he actually was very helpful. Like, well, all right.
But even that whole thing was very, like, when Soto's comments, like, oh, you don't like kiss a girl when you first meet her. I'm like, what's happening here? Why are we talking to the media this way?
I think they need to call an Etsy witch. I think the Mets need to just call an Etsy witch.
Yes.
Try something, because what in the hell is going on with the vibes there?
The Mariners did it last year. It worked, so.
It did work, didn't it? And also, Isabella is an Etsy witch, and I think she would offer them a pretty good discount.
Yeah, who says that they don't already have one?
Well, me, because it's not working. Yes, would be my point, is that it's not showing up in the standings, you know? Okay, last one. Infielder Luis Garcia traded from the Nationals to the Yankees, and outfielder Elliot Ramos traded from the Giants to the Yankees. How do you feel about the Yankees and what they did at the deadline? Yawn or yawn?
Okay. First of all, I like
or yawn.
You're like, you don't need a diplomatic answer. You can just be honest. I want to say yawn because they should have done so much more.
Yes, so she means sleepy yawn.
I mean sleepy yawn.
Sleepy yawn.
And nothing against Elliott or
Right.
Garcia.
Totally.
Nothing against them as players. I don't understand how you don't get a reliever. I don't understand how you look at the roster and say, we did our best. And then the famous line of like, well, we have pitchers coming back and hitters coming back. So it would be like trading for an arm at the deadline. Like, if I hear that line one more time, I am going to hurl myself into the Hudson. Like, I can't listen to that anymore. And this year, like, no one is that amazing in the American League.
True.
In comparison to the National
grabs.
League. Completely up for grabs. My thing is, if they're indecisive on whether or not Judge is going to come back, so that's why they got...
How is that possible? Does that have you freaked out? Because I remember hearing it was the beginning of August was the original timeline. Have we heard about a setback?
No setback, but he could start doing light activity.
What
this
the
week.
hell is that?
I said, what does that mean? Like a jog?
Like mahjong? What do we mean light activity? What is the...
And where is Stanton?
Okay, and so Stanton did have a setback, right? Stanton was rehabbing and then he
twisted his ankle or something. No.
Kate.
She's
laughing so she doesn't cry.
No, it's so true. I'm like, Stanton, please.
What's going on? Where are they? Why are they hurt still?
I don't know. But Judge then made that comment, I will be back this season.
Which makes me go, yeah, I know. Why are you saying it? Why are you saying it? I knew that already.
I know.
So now it's making me go, are you lying?
I know.
Kate looks like she's going to
I'm literally going to throw up.
She's like gulping, like, No, totally.
Because I think our pitching is so good that we could do something exciting. And they did do something. They sent Volpe down. They brought Lombard up. So that made me happy.
Made a lot of Yankee fans happy, I think.
Yes, but I wish we did more.
Right. And you didn't.
Which we can.
Not anymore.
Didn't.
Deadline passed.
Well, yeah,
so
now
actually,
we can't do
legally
anything.
you can't. So unfortunately, the Red Sox surging. Do you want to talk about it? We have to talk about it.
We have to talk about it.
Because just as like a baseball fan, it is a fascinating story.
It's I saw some crazy numbers too. Like,
What do you got?
one of them was the largest gap was 15 and a half games.
Whoa.
Behind first place in the AL East. And if they pass the Rays and the Yankees, they will be the only team aside from the Guardians last year. Now, mind you, the Tigers kind of gave the Guardians a free pass last year. They couldn't win a game the last month.
It was crazy.
So that's very interesting. And I think they might bounce the Yankees from the wild card if that happens.
Clip that.
No, actually, Katie, don't
clip that and put it on my stories.
I'm getting nervy with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
But they have been unbelievable. And it seems like it's a different player every single game.
Yeah.
Which is
one
very
of those
exciting.
I haven't had this type of excitement for the team since the 2004 run that they went. This is exactly that type of where is this coming from? Lou Merloni is cry laughing during calls of home runs because he's like, what's happening? It's just what is happening? July was the best month in team history. They went 21-4.
Insane.
What the hell? On July 1st, the Red Sox had the fewest wins in the American League. They had a 37-48 record. They were 6 games out of the wild card. On August 1st, they had the third most wins in the American League. Their record was 59-51, and they led the wild card by 4 games. Like you said, it's been a lot of different people.
Yes.
It also came after they shockingly fired the entire management staff and put them all on a plane home. Goodbye. Even Jason Varitek, which I was like, excuse me.
I know.
Excuse me. What's happening?
Not too much on Jason.
Not too much now. But then Chad Tracy comes in. We're still calling him interim manager, which I feel like is disrespectful at this point. Just make him your manager.
Yes.
I get it. It's, but kind of crazy. And then they've added. Now, here's my question. Where the fuck is Tristan Casas? Am I ever going to see him again?
Wait. People have been saying that, where and what happened to Tristan? Now, I thought the last time he had obviously it was the rib injury.
Right.
And then he fell running into first. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. But
No.
I felt bad the way he got injured last year. He ran and fell, twisted something.
There was also some sort of a dental thing that happened last year, I remember.
And then it was his back. These seem to be a lot of. So where is Tristan? And when is he coming back?
Really good question. I don't think I'm ever going to see him play again. I remember hearing when he first was going through that injury was that so much of his power and his swing or whatever comes from his core.
Yes.
And this type of injury is going to make him have to change his swing. And that was the moment I went, time to say goodbye to him in my heart. I said, time to say goodbye to him in my heart. And I hate doing that, but it has made me sometimes forget and go, well, yeah, wait, where is Tristan Casas? Because I had to close the door so that if he were to come back, I could go, what a lovely surprise.
Yes.
Instead of constantly going, is he coming back? Where has he been?
He hasn't played consistently since the second half of 23.
I know.
He played a few games last year. And you know what it is? It's funny, the Red Sox, when they were saying, oh my gosh, they need a power bat. If they had a power bat in the lineup this week, Tristan
I know.
would be a power bat.
Trevor Story's also been injured a whole lot since being here.
Yep.
Type of guy that when he does play, he hits 3 home runs in a game. When he doesn't play, you're just like, hello, we miss you.
I know.
Hurt all the time. Roman Anthony was hurt. Adley Rutschman obviously came over here with wrist inflammation. They signed Curtis Mead, was one of the first trades they made before the deadline. And then he immediately breaks his wrist, potentially coming back in September, but again, not holding my breath. Do you feel that they can keep going? I know they lost the last couple. Do you feel like this is sustainable, or you think we've already seen the end of it and we'll see?
No, I think okay. I don't think they're going to go on another 10-game winning streak.
Mm.
You're like, really?
But
or a 15-game winning streak. But I think.
Go ahead.
I think that they can make a good shot at winning the AL East.
Thank you for saying
They have a shot at me.
Thank you so much for saying
it. It was actually the most painful thing I've ever had to say.
I actually really appreciate you saying it. Before we move on from the Red Sox, just one last thing.
Yes.
Did you see or hear about the game last Thursday that people were calling Game of the Year? I heard one of the best regular season games in history. They played the White Sox. It went 13 innings.
Yes.
And they walked it off. They won 12-11. They came back 5 times.
Yes.
They kept being counted out. The top half of the inning, the White Sox would score a couple runs, and then the Red Sox would answer with just not enough to beat them in any of these extra innings, but just enough to one of the more exciting games that I've been a part. I was following it on my phone. I was on a plane. A terrible game to be on a plane with no TVs for. But I just wanted to say it to you.
Well, I think... You're like, there's actually no reason other than the fact
really.
that,
I just wanted to say, did you see them come back all those times in that one game to win the whole thing?
I will say they're relentless. And my Yankees, every single time we're in extra innings, we lose the game. Except
that's one of the worst types of teams to be rooting. I hate when the Sox get in one of those where you go, every time we go to extras, we lose.
Like, why can't we just come back? Like the Red Sox.
I think it's because God doesn't love you. Not you, Kate. The Yankees. I meant, just to be clear, not
that's
you.
fair.
The Yankees.
It's like the Red Sox it's giving like America's team this year.
It is.
Unfortunately. How do you feel about Contreras? Is it kind of like he's on my team, so I like him?
Yep. Yes, because at first I was like, I could see this being a polarizing player in general. Just he's got a lot of, but then given the backdrop of where he's from and where he's coming from and what they're going through right now, as well as just like the very charged situation that happened at the mound when he was called boy and the way that he took that, and it has been like an engine for the team. So. I could see him being a player I wouldn't like as much if he wasn't on my team.
Yes.
But because he's on my team, that's my sweet guy, and we'll do anything to support and rally around him. Okay?
I love that.
Okay, we'll clear the benches. But we can revisit if he's ever not on my team. Let's talk about The Miz.
Oh, my favorite.
What the fuck? So for that, honestly, what the fuck? This guy is absurd. And
Insane.
I want you to help a casual fan understand just how absurd. Because I got a push notification this year, during this season, about Jacob Mizorowski. He's a pitcher for the Brewers.
Yes.
And we've known he's great. He throws heat. He throws very, very fast. But I remember getting a notification that was like he has thrown 4 of the fastest pitches ever in Major League Baseball in the first inning of a game or something.
Yes.
He is constantly doing these crazy things where he's breaking records that were set by him because he throws so fast. So I guess my question to you is, what the hell is the deal with this guy?
Yes. So for the casual fan, him throwing like 103, 104, 105 is what we typically see in a reliever that's only going to throw 1 inning the entire game. He's throwing this 6-7 inning. Sorry.
Stop doing it, Kate. She's just Gen Z. She can't help it.
I really can't help it.
She can't help it.
He's throwing 7 innings and his last pitch is still like 104 miles per hour. And people are going, how are you doing this? Also, it's funny, at All-Star, he was showing me all of his different pitch grips. And I joked with him, I'm like, I guess, why do you even need to throw anything else if you're blowing fastballs by people constantly? Like, they can't even catch up to it.
Yeah.
But he's remarkable. And he's such a goofy guy where, like, he's really into Pokemon. He's so silly. I'm, like, the biggest Miz fan just in general. Because I think he's just a fantastic human being.
Is this going to sustain? How will he sustain throwing this? I feel like whenever you get a pitcher that like emerges onto the scene and throws really fast, now granted, he is throwing so fast, it's like no one's been doing this before him.
Yes.
But whenever we meet a pitcher and he throws fast and I like him, a couple seasons later, we're not talking about him as much because it took so much out of them to throw like that. How is he able to do this?
Well, he's really tall. It's like that. He does have the height, and he's very lanky, so I think that helps a lot.
It's a compliment. She's meaning it as a compliment.
Yes. He's tall and lanky, so I think that helps a lot with his speed. But to your point, unfortunately now I feel like it's almost everyone's going to get Tommy John, just when.
I know. Doesn't it feel that way?
Which is awful.
Which is awful. Do you know well enough what actually happens when they do Tommy John surgery? You're not a doctor, so it's not your job to know. But it's like, it was never seen as something that was easy to come back from even once you got it. It was like, if you had to get it, it was like, I hope you can come back from it.
Yes.
And now we've got these guys all getting it and then coming back from it. We're expecting them to be exactly the same.
I will say Cole has been good since coming back from Tommy. Like, with all things considered, he has been pretty good. Justin Verlander came back and won the Cy Young that year.
He sure did.
After coming back from Tommy John. So I think medical advancements have been helping. But I'm nervous with Miz throwing his arm out.
No, and we're not trying to speak it into existence.
No.
It's just you're throwing so hard so fast.
Yes.
Is it just that he has figured out the what is that even called?
Like the torque?
Like the physics and the torque. I remember watching a video about Aroldis Chapman a long time ago about how like he has one of the more like physically pure, the way that it like slingshots, and that's how he's able to. Again, that's a closer we're talking about, not a starting pitcher.
Yes.
But I just wonder if there's something about like Miz's throwing action that is less stress on his arm in a way that another pitcher would be, that has him able to do this. But yeah, I don't know. I'll just become a doctor and I'll figure it out and I'll get back to you. How tall is he, Mizorowski?
6'5".
He's actually...
Or 6, yeah.
He's 6'7". He is. I do think he is 6'7". Field of Dreams game is this week. Yes?
Yes.
Are you working this?
I am not working this.
Oh, man.
Which I'm kind of sad because this is like the one event I would really love to work.
Yeah,
I feel like it's
explain
so
it to
cool.
somebody who doesn't know about it.
They play in Iowa on the field where Field of Dreams was shot.
Yeah. Kind of amazing. This is their third game there. They'd started doing it in 2021. They did it in 2022. And then I guess they skipped a couple of years. And then they're doing it this year.
Yes.
It's this week. It's Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Netflix if you want to watch it. The Phillies are playing the Twins. So that'll be exciting. It's Netflix in baseball. They're new here.
They're new.
They
They're
had the home
testing
run
the
derby.
waters.
They're
Yeah.
testing the waters. Home run derby, I had notes, but there was also some parts of it that were okay that I liked.
Yeah.
They also had opening night, that
Yes.
Giants game. Was that Giants Yankees?
Giants Yankees, yeah.
Who won that game? The Giants?
The Yankees won.
Damn. Well,
She's just looking for
I'm just poking. I'm just trying to poke. So yeah, this is an exciting game. It's part of, they're trying to get games that are sort of like events.
Yes.
That are happening outside of your normal, everyday, average baseball stadium. This year on August 23rd, the Brewers and the Braves will play the annual Little League Classic. They do that at the Little League World Series in Pennsylvania. Last year, the Braves and the Reds played the Speedway Classic at a field built inside of Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yes.
That's cool. And in 2024, the Cardinals and Giants played at Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama, which was the former home of the Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro Leagues. So my question for you, Kate, would be where else would you like to see an MLB game? Where would we want to see baseball show up and play?
That's a good question.
I know.
The problem is, as silly as this sounds, like the shape of the field is very difficult.
It is.
So like obviously, it would be cool to play at a huge football stadium.
Right. But how would we make that?
How would we make that work?
And I'm sure they could figure out certain ways, but outside of that, I feel like didn't they used to do the wasn't there a football game they played on a ship?
Did they? On a ship?
Am I making that up? Somebody that's got a laptop in front of them fact check it and then hop in my ear. But I'm pretty sure they played a football game on a ship. Wouldn't it be cool to play
And then
baseball?
it goes
in
into the water?
I mean, kind of crazy.
That would be insane.
Kind of exciting. Get the people going.
Is there? Well, I guess if they played a football game on it, there is a ship big enough.
Right, like one of those like aircraft.
Yeah.
Like, if it's basically an airport, it's got to be big enough for a baseball field. Surely.
That's kind of like it could be like McCovey Cove in Oracle, where people sit in the kayaks and they try.
So fun.
So fun.
So
it's
fun.
The best stadium in baseball.
I was just going to say, that made me think, what's your favorite stadium? That is your favorite?
Oracle.
It's
I like Fenway
beautiful.
too.
Oracle's gorgeous.
Yeah.
The view that you have, if you sit on that, what is it? Is it the first baseline that you can see like the city and the water?
Yes.
It's crazy. Just a gorgeous stadium. What's your second favorite stadium? Fenway. What's your
Fenway.
third favorite stadium?
Probably Wrigley.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
hate Yankee Stadium too? You agree it sucks?
You know what it is?
I'm like really putting you through the ringer. Let me just say you're doing a fantastic job.
I'm getting off this. Katie's like, you're actually not a Yankees fan anymore. People are going to go, this girl is
I'm trying to
fake.
cure you of it.
She's a
I'm trying
fraud.
to cure her of it. I like Kate so much and I can't square it with the fact that she's a Yankees fan.
I liked old Yankee Stadium better.
Yeah.
This one, I mean, we have Monument Park. Like, it's not my favorite. I'll be honest. I'll own that. It's not my favorite.
Fair enough.
It feels like home to me, which is nice going there.
And you love the team.
And I love the Yankees more than anything.
And you'll never change. You'll never switch.
No.
Yankees your whole life.
My whole life.
Yeah. Never going anywhere else.
No, I can't bandwagon.
From here? From New York?
I'm from Long Island, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, where on Long Island.
Wantagh, Nassau County.
Okay, yeah. I went to Hofstra, so
Oh, you know it all too well.
I'm
Yes.
super familiar.
Yes.
Yeah, and I respect that. I respect that. You're a Yankees fan. It is what it is. I tried my best, okay? I tried to pull her off of it. And everybody knows Yankee Stadium's not that great anymore. It's just a thing. It is what it is. Maybe you guys will get the next one right, you know?
What is your favorite?
So Fenway obviously has to be. It's just it's hasn't changed. I think a lot of people, I feel very lucky to have a stadium that has barely changed from my childhood. So when I walk into it, it still feels the same in all the good and bad ways of like, oh, look, the same obstructed view I had when I was a child.
Yes.
The second best of the ones I've been to, I mean, I love Petco Park.
I haven't been. I heard it's great.
I love Petco Park. And then part of me goes, maybe that's just the weather. You might just love San Diego.
So
you know what I mean? But I do like the view from Petco Park. I like the way that it's in the city. I love the Giants. I have not been to the Orioles. I haven't been down there yet. I probably would love that stadium, I'm sure. I like the Cubs. I hated the White Sox. I hated White Sox Stadium so much. But I've said that on too many places. I'm starting to feel like I'm picking on them. It was just when we went for Apple TV, that Heidi Watney had to sit with a box fan on her lap while we did our manager interviews because there was no AC working. And it was just like a nightmare of a place. And I liked the Diamondbacks Stadium.
Chase Field. Oh, yeah.
They did a good job with like the climate control, which is crucial when you're in Arizona.
Yes.
It was just a nice, unexpected stadium I never really hear come up. In discussions of good stadiums. I also didn't hate Houston's stadium. I just hated the people inside of it. You know what I mean? It was
the heat. I was in Houston last week. And
crazy.
I was like, close the roof, please, before I literally pass out.
It's too much. But I like the little train. You know,
the train is really cute. The train is cute.
I like a stadium. I never got to go. It's the Brewers, right, that have the slide?
Yes, I haven't been either.
I've never gotten to go and see that. I would love to go see that. I think those are all my top ones. I can't think of it. I mean, I like Citi Field. I don't mind Citi Field.
They got great food.
Great, fantastic food.
Really good food.
Good vibes. And I used to go to lots of Mets games when I was, a poor college student because I was like, I'll just go and hop on the train and get cheap tickets right before the game starts. Now, nobody can get cheap tickets anymore.
Well, the Mets are still pretty cheap.
Because they still kind of suck. You know what I mean? They're not winning.
They also had, did you hear about this? It was like the Mets were if you bought a ticket to the Mets game, this was going on like 2 weeks ago. If you bought a ticket to the Mets game, they gave you a $10 voucher.
Oh boy.
But the tickets were being sold for $10. We're like, it's basically
free ticket.
Basically going to the Mets game for free.
As it should be.
Yeah.
And that's why Isabella has been able to go to like 6 Mets games this year because nobody else wants to go and they need people.
Yes.
They need people to be there. Go to Mets games. I have been trying to sell casual fans on like, just go to a game.
Yes.
It is... in a world where there's like diminishing public spaces for us all to gather and experience something, who cares if they suck? I know in the long run, as a fan, you want your team to not suck and to invest in the product. And I know there's a lot of work to be done in that area. Just go to a game.
Yes.
Get outside with a friend, loved one, family member. Eat food. It's going to be probably expensive. Check the rules and see what food you can bring in. Some stadiums let you bring in a bag of spaghetti. We learned that this year.
What?
Some stadiums across Major League Baseball will let you bring in your own bag of spaghetti and eat out of it.
That's insane.
There's probably other food you could bring, but I like picturing everybody trying to eat spaghetti out of a bag. I think at some point I would just smush the spaghetti up to the top of the bag and like eat it like a taco. But like, make whatever cost-cutting measures you have to where you can. I know it is going to be expensive, but you will have such a great time.
Yeah.
It's just such like a good, something is happening, but it's also not requiring your attention all the time. You can have great conversations with people. You can grow the game. Go to a game. On a nice day, when it's not raining, get outside, go to a game. To wrap this up, Kate, I would like to put a nice little bow on this, looking towards the World Series.
Okay.
So in your professional opinion,
yes,
as our Gen Z baseball expert, as the connoisseur of baseball for baddies, what 4 teams do you think can realistically win the World Series this year?
Okay. Dodgers.
Okay.
Of course. Sorry to be so boring.
No, but it is. If you hadn't said them, then people would go, "What? You don't know anything." So the Dodgers, because they have everybody.
They have every single elite pitcher and every single elite bullpen guy.
Crazy.
It's an
all-star team.
It's an all-star team. Yeah. Dodgers, but I don't think the Dodgers will win this year.
Okay, I love that.
Cubs. I think the Cubs have a shot.
Okay.
I like PCA. I think PCA is having a great year. I think he's going to win the MVP, depending on when Shohei gets back.
Mm-hmm.
Brewers.
Okay.
And the last one is a toss-up. I would like to say Yankees because wait.
She says Red Sox. I'm gonna kiss her on the mouth.
No, I have to say Yankees.
Okay.
Here's my thing. I think the Yankees pitching is better, and I think in if they have to play in a three game
like last year.
Yes, a 3-game, a 5-game, or a 7-game set. I think they have their rotation is ultimately better. The offense makes me very worried.
It's hit or miss.
It's hit or miss. I had to throw an American League team in there because I was like, I can't throw all National League teams in.
And you'd hate for it to be
and I'd hate for
the Boston Red Sox. So it had to be the Yankees.
It had to be the Yankees.
Look, the Yankees could do it.
100%.
I will be insufferable if they do. Losing that series to them the play-in, whatever, the wild card weekend. I didn't like that. I didn't like the way that went. Wasn't happy about that. And if it happens again, Kate, I'm going to tweet mean things at you.
It would just be really magical and majestic if Judge comes back. What if we don't have baseball? Think about it this way. Don't you like Judge?
And kind of, he's very talented.
Great talent.
Incredibly talented. And great. Fantastic.
What if this is their last shot? This could be it.
Are we going to have baseball next year?
Okay, I go back and forth. Or initially, I said there definitely going to be some type of lockout. But now Passan's saying there's only a 30% chance we won't have baseball.
Oh.
So I go, that Passan, that makes me feel a lot better.
Me too.
But I think definitely no cap.
No cap. But they will.
I think the owners.
And she doesn't mean that the Gen Z way. She means it no salary cap. She does not. She is on the side of no salary cap. The owners want a salary cap. It just feels un-American to me.
It feels un-American. Why don't they just do a cap on deferrals? Doesn't that solve the problem?
And also a floor of everybody's got to spend. You can't just go, we don't spend our money here. And if you do, then have that reflected in your tickets. Make your tickets cheaper. You can't just not spend the money.
I feel like that's the solution because I don't think the Dodgers could afford all these players without deferring all of that money.
Right.
Where are they coming up with all the money to hand them right now?
Don't they also have something interesting about their cable deal?
They're
they're the only team that has some sort of special something.
They're the only team that makes money off of the network deals. Mm-hmm. Every other team technically loses money.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So, but
just something to look into.
If you have all of Japan watching you, that makes sense.
I know, that is true.
They have all the Japanese players.
And then you have that advantage. It's just too many advantages stacked on top of each other that one isn't that crazy, but when they're the same team is sort of benefiting from all of them. Again, a lot of them out of their control. You get one elite Japanese player and then another one is being recruited. If I'm that elite Japanese player being recruited, I'd want to go where they already have. If they have to meet his standard and he's, a superstar like Shohei, then you'll help me because, I benefit. So yes. It's just I'm sick of talking about the Dodgers and I really hope no lockout. Really hoping.
No lockout.
Fingers crossed. I just think the messaging issue of athletes wanting no salary cap, messaging that to sports fans who, by and large, a lot of average everyday people are struggling with money right now.
Agreed.
Things are kind of a mess. So for them to have to argue, you need the support of the fans on the side of the players, and to get them there, you have to get over this huge hurdle, which is the players are wanting mostly for them not to be able to make less than the millions and millions and millions, exceedingly millions that they're making per contract. I just think I hope whoever's in charge of messaging that for the players is hard at work on it.
On how they're going to communicate that. Yeah.
Because the owners will be leaning into these spoiled babies want more money to play a child's game.
Yep.
And I fear it will work. When in actuality, if it weren't for the spoiled babies getting the money, it would just be these guys who have nothing to do with playing the sport that get to benefit from it. And why should that be the case?
Yes, and it's just billionaires investing in teams because
they want more
just
money.
For fun. I just want more money.
I don't want it to be a good investment.
No.
I want it to be a good baseball team.
Yes.
All right, I think we solved that, actually. I feel pretty good about us solving that.
Why don't we just go into the meeting?
We'll be in the negotiations. We're actually the head of the MLBPA.
Yes.
So that's us. Kait Maniscalco, thank you so much for coming. It's been so fun watching you grow this little empire that you've built into this massive cultural force within baseball. I don't know you well enough to say I'm proud of you, but I'm just happy that it exists, and I'm grateful to you for building this space and for coming here and doing Casuals. So thank you for all of that.
Oh my gosh. One, thank you for the kind words. Two, thank you for having me. This was so much fun. I loved this baseball edition.
Yes. Amazing. We're all smart smarter because of it.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. It's the very end of Casuals, but don't go anywhere because we got a lot in this block. I saw, Chris, before we get to what we can watch if we want to watch sports this weekend, you have a couple this week, sorry. My brain is still in the weekend. I need another day off from my days off. You have a couple updates in here that you wanted to share. What do you got?
I do. The first thing is, I told everyone to watch Carlton over the weekend because we were playing in a very big game against St. Kilda.
We all
and if we
did.
win, exactly. So you all know the result.
They won.
Carlton won. So we are now very, very close to actually securing a postseason berth, which seemed very, very unlikely 10 weeks ago, and now is very likely to actually happen, which is fantastic. We also had the AFLW season begin, so Carlton played St Kilda in the women's as well. So I watched some of that with my daughter. You had asked me to ask Izzy who her favorite player is going to be. So we were watching the game, and she kept, hearing different names and things like that. I said, well, what about this player? What about this player? And she kept saying, no, no, no. Finally, we get to a player, Abby McKay. And she said, I want Abby McKay. She is my favorite player. I love Abby McKay. And wouldn't you know it, Abby McKay is the captain of the AFL women's side for Carlton. She was one of the best on ground, if not the best on ground, during the game over the weekend. And she's the one that I brought up last week. Remember I said that we have the father-daughter rule in the AFLW. Abby McKay was the first ever father-daughter selection in the AFLW because her dad, Andrew McKay,
chose her.
Just for I don't know what gravitated her towards Abby McKay, but she chose the most Carlton of all the players.
Stop, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I can't
She picks him well.
it.
She picks him well.
Really sweet. I'm obsessed with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Did the women also win?
The women also won.
Nice.
So we had a really good weekend. St Kilda did not. Sucked in St Kilda. But we'll see how the rest of the season goes. We only need to win one more game.
Sucked in?
Sucked in, yeah.
And that means...
This means...
Suck it?
Suck it?
Yeah, suck it, yeah.
You should be saying that. I don't think you should be saying words I don't understand that could be offensive to other
Two words.
people. What do we...
Oh, it's offensive to St Kilda fans because I told
Sucked in
them their team.
St. Kilda.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't mean
Sucked
like
in
they're
St.
sucking in their gut because someone's taking a picture and they don't want to look. Okay. Sucked in.
Definitely not.
Let me stop saying it. I also saw another update in here you have.
Yes. So not only did we watch Australian football over the weekend, we also watched something else that Izzy became instantly obsessed with when we put it on, and that was gymnastics. The US Gymnastics Championships were on over the weekend, and Izzy just fell in love with it. Hesley Rivera won her second straight US Women's Gymnastics title, so congratulations to her.
It was a comeback too, I believe, a dramatic comeback.
Absolutely. And so we were watching that, and Izzy has now asked to become a gymnast. She wants to be enrolled in gym classes, so we are going to enroll her in gymnastics because she just loves
Chris.
watching it so much.
This is how you make an elite athlete. How old is Izzy again?
She's 4. She'll be 5 next month.
That's
she just never watched it. I thought we might have shown her some when the Olympics were on. I don't think she remembers that.
Okay, fair
but
enough. Let's not
but
judge.
she was watching
She's got
it.
a brain that's working on a lot of stuff.
Correct. But she was watching all the gymnasts do flips and everything, and she's like, what is going on here?
Remember early in Casuals when we had Jordan Childs on as a guest, and she was like, my parents I had so much energy, and they put me in gymnastics to be like, get this out of her, which ended up being great because she's a fantastic gymnast. Maybe this could be, again, the start of something beautiful, Chris.
Could be 2040 Olympics.
Okay.
My brother, college gymnastics are also going to be like your most cost-effective sporting event for these kids also.
To go to?
Yeah, it is. Everyone just lets you in the door. No tickets required. You are just full access all the way up to the grounds, and you're watching elite athletes.
We'll go to some UNC gym
away.
meets, I feel like, this season.
Gymnastics is so cool.
Vibes are high.
I love this for her.
Vibes are high. I like when you see the rest of the team doing the gymnasts routine to the side when they're like on the floor, and they'll be like, you just see like 3 other gymnasts doing the moves in the background. It's
also one of those sports that has the highest like holy shit factor to see live in person.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to see gymnasts on TV, and then you get up close and you're like, how are you doing any of this?
I made that point, even watching on TV, like you watch football, right? Or you watch basketball, and in my mind, I'm like, I can do something that it's an approximate version of what they're doing. Not as good, but I can shoot a basketball or I can throw a ball. But I can't do anything.
Brady, you do this all the time. So let Chris do his little thing, okay? Brady's like, you watch darts and you go, I could do that tomorrow at a professional level, you know? But yeah, you watch basketball and you go, I at least know the mechanics of how to gymnastics. You go, how do they even figure out where to start doing?
Yeah, like a tumble, 100%. I would be scared
And I would like to just throw out there, Chris, I know we're already heavy, so let's move on right after this. But if Izzy gets into gymnastics and she finds that the flips are very scary or that the beam scares her and it's not something she can push through, because gymnastics trainers are very good at getting girls to push through their fear and to trust but if she finds that she can't conquer the actual fear of like flipping, may I recommend rhythmic gymnastics? Okay,
I like
it's a sport. It is a sport. Maybe not as well represented here in the United States, but we got to start somewhere. And it's a lot more dancing and a lot less.
She does love dancing, so that's perfect.
It could be right up her alley, and you'll just let me know. We're getting my niece into it. We just started telling my niece about rhythmic gymnastics. She can't pronounce it yet, of course. But when she can, I think she's going to run the sport. So,
did your parents still have the old ribbons?
I have them. My parents actually sent them to me because they were sick of holding on to them. And so now I have to send them to Chicago so that she can have them.
Nice.
Because, yes, I've got all of my, first of all, the ribbons that I won, but the ribbon that I used to win. So both types of ribbons we still have. Chris! Theoretically, someone is still listening to this podcast and they want to watch sports this week and they don't know where to start. So, what can people watch if they want to watch some sports this week?
We can watch NFL preseason. We've got a bunch of games this week because now we've got the entire slate of teams playing. Well, I'm going to specifically highlight Arizona against Las Vegas. That'll be Thursday, August 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can watch that on ESPN Unlimited.
Whatever that is.
I wanted to bring this up because last week, Raiders defensive end Max Crosby and quarterback Kirk Cousins got into a heated fight during training camp practice. That was on Friday, and Cousins was held out on Saturday's practice because of it. I just thought I should mention that.
In what way? And how? I can't picture Kirk Cousins getting in a fight.
No.
Not with Max Crosby either. What are you doing?
Know. Isabella, Kirk Cousins is very, what's the word?
Coles.
He uses cold cash. He's very khakis. He's very. You like that? He was most famous for his most famous moment when he broke out was him yelling, "You like that?" He doesn't even really. He doesn't. I don't know that he doesn't curse, so I'm kind of dancing around that. But he gives "I don't curse" vibes.
Gotcha.
He's super into nerdy stuff. Last I checked, he drives a van to practice. That's pretty old now. He's probably made a lot more money. I doubt he drives that same van, but. He's just not the guy you picture. Now, Max Crosby covered in tattoos, not less that vibe. Do we have any info on who won the fight? Were there fisticuffs?
They got pulled apart. There was no end to it. They got pulled apart and they both got held out of practice the next day. Max is covered head to toe in tattoos of Muhammad Ali and Kirk with his aw shucks vibe.
Top buttoned. I
would have loved to just let him go.
And where did Mendoza stand in all of this? Where does Fernando Mendoza?
He went and told an adult. I imagine he went and told a grown up.
Excuse me, sir.
There's a fight happening. What the hell is going on? Isabel, this is the fun thing about the preseason. Like I said, a lot of preseason games are not worth watching, and non-sickos will tell you, including casuals, that you don't have to watch these. But what is interesting is they practice together all week, these two teams, and then the week ends with them playing against each other in a game. So there is that added element of sometimes a fight breaks out between the two teams earlier in the week, and then later in the week they're playing, and we watch that game, and you go, what's going to happen? But other than that, there's really not to immediately pop the balloon of your bit, Chris, but people could watch this, and this is the one to pick. But the others, I don't know that I'd be driving too many people to watch preseason.
You will see Fernando in this one, though. If they're playing the backups, you should get Fernando in here.
Okay, interesting. What else can they watch, Chris?
The Flag Football World Championships in Dusseldorf. This week begins August 13th, ends August 16th. Games are streamed live on the official IFAF YouTube channel with marquee matchups like the semifinal and gold medal games also broadcast on DAZN. And no surprise, America are the favorites in both the men's and women's competitions.
And don't forget flag football coming up at the Olympics in Los Angeles. So now is the best possible time to get into this, because then maybe you'll know people when you watch the United States in the Olympics, right?
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
What else? One more.
We got some WPBL action this week. The game I wanted to highlight was Los Angeles at San Francisco on Wednesday, the 12th of August.
Los Angeles. Have I never once heard you say Los Angeles on this podcast?
Probably
Seems
not.
impossible that you wouldn't have said Los Angeles. That's my first time finding out you say it that way.
Mm-hmm. Los Angeles.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I've always said Los Angeles.
And don't let me stop you. Go ahead.
That game's on Wednesday, the 12th of August at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. I want to highlight this game because Greensboro's own Britt Apgar, who was born without a right hand, has been playing this season as a pitcher and a hitter for Los Angeles, the Queens. And so she's pitched 0.2 innings, gave up a couple of hits, but she's also had 5 at-bats and had 2 hits of her own. So she wears like a special mechanical hand that she sort of grips onto the bat for her when she bats. But it's just an incredible story. I felt like I wanted to highlight her because now she's actually getting some game time. I knew about her a couple of weeks ago. I was hoping that she would actually play that opening game. She didn't play that opening game, but since then she's actually been getting more game time, more at bats. So congrats to Britt Apgar, amazing story. Check her out. That's why I'm going to be a Queens fan this season, because of Britt. Not only she's from Greensboro, but it's just an awesome, inspirational story.
Yeah, awesome. It makes me feel kind of like a bad guy for saying I'm not rooting for them. I'm rooting for Boston, who, again, I brought this up to Kate, but they fired their manager in kind of a interesting way. Maybe more will come out on that. I don't know if it's just because Keith Foulke, former Boston Red Sox, Isabella might not know that, it just didn't seem like he wanted to win or something. I don't really know. Just such an interesting, growing pains with a new league where you go, yeah, we're used to people announcing the firing in a more clear way, but this is new, and we'll see what happens with that. Only 15 games. I mean, if you think about, I also saw somebody say that technically because they only play 15 games that Keith Foulke got through more percentage of the season than Alex Cora did. I haven't done the math on it myself, but I do think technically he was deep enough into the season, though it was only, I think it was before the 3rd game he got fired. I don't know. We'll see. WPBL, shout out to them. All right. Anything else? Anyone else make a big decision like Isabella and want to drop that on us now, or?
Nope.
No.
No.
Brady, how many Orioles games have you watched since they traded Adley Rutschman to the Red Sox?
3.
It's a lot.
I know.
You didn't give up on him.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be happy for Adley once he starts playing with Boston. I did, I was curious about the new guys they're bringing in, which, they all kind of look like the guys they got rid of. Mike Elias has a type, same kind of haircut, if you know what I mean. But I'll be there with them. They're still only 2 games out, so it's not even like the season is
That's the thing. We're talking crazy. They still could do something at any time. Whenever
Weekend series with the Rangers was tough, but like coming back and winning on Sunday because the Rangers have the wild card spot right now. The Orioles are 2 games behind. Like, you can make that up in 2 days. Like,
That's right, honey.
It is possible. It's right there.
It can happen. He's absolutely right. You just keep on believing.
Even without
Not you,
Adley.
Isabella. I don't think you should. I don't think you keep on believing. It's fine.
I'm going to keep on believing.
Have you been to any games since?
No.
That's okay.
But I would like to. I want to go to one that's like not at Citi Field. I just don't know where.
Interesting. So, like, as a destination.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm acting like we have a ton of time, but I just enjoyed talking to my friends. It's just really stressed. I'm so sick of talking about all the difficult stuff that's going on in the W. I just want to say here at the end of the podcast.
Make sure we led with Kayla McBride.
Fan. I know. It's just like, it's exhausting. And these people are very dedicated to like driving it to the front of the conversation. And so just like, if you're still watching this and you're still listening, all I ask is you just try to be mindful of the people that are participating in this conversation. Try to be mindful of fans of the W. Just, if you could just be a little more empathetic to the trans community, I'd really appreciate it. I'm just asking. I just think it's wild the way we take a population that's already having a hard enough time and just insist on making it harder and louder for them all the time. But anyway, that's a podcast. We will do the news podcast on Thursday this week, just switching the guest podcast and the news podcast. Hopefully, no updates on all that nightmare, but that's wishful thinking. I'm sure there'll be something. And we'll see you then. We love you. We mean it. And bye. Right, Isabella?
Bye.